It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
So where's the office back at Division? Yeah, in the office, baby. Going up.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice over there on the board doing his thing per usual is TLC. And to my right today, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Tim May is in the house filling in for AR. Tim May, happy Friday to you, my man. How are you?
Happy Friday. I'm doing extremely well now that I found out where the microphone button is again, but I'm doing very well, and it's always fun to be on with you, Matty Ice, a guy that thinks Hot Tub Time Machine is a better movie than Animal House. I mean,
it's one of the spicier takes that I've had here on the air. I can tell that you're not a fan of my take. Nothing wrong with Animal House, Tim May. I like the movie. I am just I show a lot of favoritism to Hot Tub Time Machine. I just enjoy it.
Which one would go best with what Michigan is facing right now? They probably would like a hot tub, right? It feels like they're in the hot tub.
It definitely feels that way.
More of a crock pot, actually.
We will get to that just here in mere moments because that is the breaking news that broke about an hour ago coming out of Ann Arbor. The punishments are now out there coming from the NCAA. Before we do that, our lineup for today, as always on Fridays, you'll have overs and unders to round out the first hour. In our second hour, we will do Under Pressure at 1:17. Our guest today, 1:30, Sam Brookhouse covers the NFL for Sumer Sports, joins us, and then 2:30, as always on Fridays, we'll talk all things Major League Baseball in our Chin Music segment with Jensen Lewis. If you miss anything from our show, guest-related, feature-related, anything Rothman and Ice provides, we will provide that for you wherever you get your podcast. All you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. You touched on the big news, Tim May. We've been waiting on this for a while now. I wasn't holding out hope, Tim, that this was going to be anything groundbreaking. I don't view this news that way. The news is that Michigan is expected to be hit with a fine north of $20 million. Michigan coach Sharon Moore has been given an additional game suspension, which is going to take place in 2026. So they proposed a self-imposed 2-game ban for this season, which will take place weeks 3 and 4. Jim Harbaugh has been in the news today. When it comes to this, he is going to get a 10-year show cause penalty, and then Connor Stallions is in that same realm of punishments when it comes to a show cause penalty as well. His will be 8 years instead of 10. Tim, you've consumed this information. What are your thoughts on this, quote, punishment coming from the old NCAA?
Is this where I make like a nauseous sound on the radio? No, I'm not going to do that. I think the fine is significant, only because money is the walk the walk, talk the talk kind of deal. Money's the walk right now in college football and major college football, and losing postseason revenue up to $20 million, I think, is the way it reads over the next 2 years is significant. They could have given Jim Harbaugh a lifetime show cause. Who cares? He's not coming back to college football. I wouldn't think. Number one, the Sharon Moore adding another game to his suspension, which I understand will be the opening game of the 2026 season, is interesting. But he also has a show cause penalty, which is significant for a head coach. It kind of takes you away from some of your any kind of like the way I understand. Maybe I'm wrong, unless it's changed. Any off-campus kind of recruiting situations, you can help recruit once somebody's on campus, things like that. We'll read more into that and see exactly where that goes. But that's a significant penalty for your head coach. Yeah. But, every staff's now got so many people on it. You can make up for that. And then past that, Connor Stallions, 8 years. Who's going to hire Connor Stallions?
Nobody.
I mean, I'm talking about in college. He's
done some high school stuff.
Yeah, he's at a high school in Texas right now. Right. And we'll see how that goes. It didn't go that great in Detroit, I know. last year for him. But the bottom line is, who's going to hire him anyway? Because an immediate red flag will go up, and you might as well have a lifetime show cause, because you'll have to show the cause why you hired him, probably to the president of your university or something. So he's in high school, which is funny because in Texas right now there's a fairly successful high school head coach down there who has been suspended or is fighting a suspension for doing the same things Connor Stallions did. He got found out last year and stuff, and he's going in front of the University Interscholastic League down there, the UIL, which is the OHSAA of Texas, fighting that. So, it may be more pervasive than you think what's done. But the bottom line is, at least the penalties are there now. Yeah, you had the sense, especially when Tony Petitti did what he did, you had the sense they weren't going to take wins away, weren't going to take the championship away, penalize things that still had to be won on the field, So, when you look back to Ohio State 2010 season, I still remember them beating Arkansas in the Sugar Bowl, despite the fact everybody in the Tatgate thing got to play in it, just so the Sugar Bowl wouldn't go bottoms up, and not having an attraction. So, but then they got suspended for the next year, and of course Terrell Pryor left the team and stuff. So you could say that had more impact on Ohio State as far as playing football was concerned. We'll see where it goes now, because there are other big-time penalties in the recruiting realm for Michigan in this, which you can get into later, both on the actual exercise of recruiting and also how much you can put into recruiting.
That's one thing I was interested to see, Tim May, is whether or not this situation that was brewing would affect their recruiting. Now we know what the punishments are, but before we got this news today, there wasn't any negative stuff going on when it comes to the recruiting trail for Michigan. We brought this up yesterday. The 2025 class for them ranks 6th in the country, and the class they have right now for the 2026 cycle ranks 11th in the nation. So now that this news is out there, we shall see what recruits think about it. But to this point, it hasn't affected them much there. I never expected any type of over-the-top punishment from the NCAA. The thing for me, Tim, that would have obviously affected Michigan in a real way and then shook the room for everybody else around college football would have been to strip away their ability to play for games that matter in the playoff. That, to me, I think puts not only Michigan on notice, but everybody else. You put in all this work throughout the spring, throughout the summer, and the early portion of fall to play for a national championship. If you take that away, then I think that really has some people that want to go down the road of doing some nefarious things in the sport saying, we're not going to do that. And what doesn't make sense to me, and the NCAA has never really made a ton of sense to me with the way that they go about certain things, is you've got stories out there that the Akron football program has been banned from postseason play this year for academic issues. And so you have that going on. And then you have this Michigan story coming out where, to me, what they did can directly affect games and how games are either won or lost. And so that is just a major head scratcher for me, that earlier in the calendar year, we had the Akron punishment coming down. And then now we have this in the middle of August, to where what they did, that being Michigan, is worse in my opinion. I don't know exactly what it went into the academic issues for Akron, but it just doesn't look right on the surface that you have these two stories out there and one team can't play in the postseason, but the other can.
Yeah, and as far as the Akron thing, I mean, that's NCAA rules. That if you fall short of APR kind of situations, you can be penalized in that regard. So that's NCAA member schools voted that in, just like they voted in you can't go off campus and live scout, especially with a camera.
Right. No technology.
Yeah. I mean, I see where you're coming from, that affected directly the play on the field. I can understand, but how do you qualify and quantify how much it really did?
That's the question.
That's the other thing, because we saw what TCU did to Michigan,
Right.
And so in the playoff game, so when they had wind of what was going on. So, there's all kinds of ways you can look at it. And the way I've always tried to explain NCAA penalties to people is they can't really do a whole lot about what happened, but they can do a lot about what can happen in the future, meaning because you as a school, Santa Ono is no longer there as the president. You know, who knows if he left before the Iditarod team showed up, you know? He's no longer there. And, of course, he had the Florida job and then got that ripped away from him, the president of the university, and he was backing his guys, you remember, 2 years ago. So, but all you can do, you as the school, you are the first line of policing when it comes to NCAA rules. You're like the local sheriff.
Yep.
And if you let it down, then you get penalized. Not necessarily. The football program is just the side thing of it, but you're expected to police your football program, your athletic department, that they're not breaking rules. Yeah. And so you have to penalize the school going forward, which is kind of what they've done here. And I'm telling you, they hit them pretty hard in the pocketbook here when you really got down right down to it. I'm interested. I know they've 25% reduction in football official visits during the 25-26 season. That's a pretty big. Yeah. That's a pretty big hit. But a fine equivalent to the cost of 10% of the scholarships awarded in the football program during the 25-26 academic year. That doesn't mean you can't still give out those scholarships, but you got to make up the money. And then the thing I thought they might go to would be hitting them on the revenue sharing aspect with just the football program, but they didn't do that.
Yeah. You know, I think if you're a Michigan fan today, Tim, I think you look at this and you're like, okay, it's not the end of the world. Because what you're talking about with the outlook of a program where you can have certain punishments come down, it could look really bleak depending on what the NCAA decided to do. I think the future for them, if I were a Michigan fan, was it worth it? Probably.
Here's the thing, though. If you're already counting in bowl revenue, postseason revenue as part of your budget, and you're losing $20 million of that in this age where budgets are tight to begin with, that's a big hit.
It's not nothing. That $20 million is definitely not nothing.
No, it's not nothing at all. It's a big hit. And then on top of that, do you have the donors? I like to use Texas A&M as an example. They can pass the hat and come up with $10 or $15 or $20 million
like that.
Maybe not in the snap of a finger, but the snap of three fingers. You know, Ross Bjork could probably fill you in on that. But does Michigan have that kind of donor backing where they can make up the gap here?
Well,
that will be interesting to watch because there's got to be somebody up there who's embarrassed by all this.
Of course.
And isn't it funny, Jim McElwain, Coach Jim McElwain of Central Michigan is the guy who got fired or urged to retire because of this.
Pretty wild. You mentioned the donors. You know, there's some people up there that may have some confidence in that based off how the Bryce Underwood situation went down, and those people willing to come to the forefront of the program and saying, hey, we ain't letting that kid leave our backyard and go down to Baton Rouge. But this is a different beast. There's no doubt about that. So that's the latest coming from the NCAA. When it comes to Michigan, we will keep you guys posted on anything new that comes from that deal. Coming up, Ohio State, as the reigning and defending national champions, how will they handle the target on their back? One national analyst thinks he knows. You'll hear that next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Covering Buckeye football from every angle possible. The Connor Stallion Show.
Airing now on the Fans HD7. Good luck finding it.
The Fan.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Stay hydrated. It's hot out there. So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Get too hot?
Hey, my phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family may not listen to you, but we will. Sundays at 11, it's The Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. You're welcome.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Happy Friday, everyone. We made it. We'll see temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s across central Ohio with plenty of sunshine. And then for tonight, temperatures right around 70 with mostly clear skies. We'll kick off the weekend on Saturday with a little bit more humidity and a little bit warmer. Plenty of sun and highs in the low 90s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's tennis shorts were so tight, they had to pixelate his crotch. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
That you are. Happy Friday to you. As always, we appreciate your time. Tim May in the house today for our guy, AR. You know, real quick, Tim. It was laughable at the time when Michigan had this self-imposed suspension for Sharon Moore, and then they picked weeks 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Central Michigan and at Nebraska. We all know why. They want him around for those first 2 games. It's his alma mater. It's on the road. Norman, Oklahoma taking on those Sooners. That was just absolutely hilarious to me there, is that, yeah, you know what? We're going to suspend our head coach in our own building, but he's not going to miss the biggest game of the year outside of Ohio State.
But at least this is a real suspension. Jim Harbaugh didn't have a real suspension when he had his suspensions. He just couldn't go to the games. That was a joke. And so, at least this is a real suspension. But you're right. I mean, it's a stain on your career, whether they want to admit it or not. It's a stain on your football program, whether they want to admit it or not. Everybody else knows it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody else is talking behind their back when they're strutting down the street with their nose in the air. Yeah. Everyone is on the sidewalk with their talking about them and saying, hey, yeah, look what they did. And, hey, by the way, they cheated to do it, you know, and they thought they were being clever. If it was okay to do it, why was the man on the sidelines wearing a disguise?
Correct.
And then he gets that head coach fired. So the Connor Stallion slash and burn campaign is wide and deep.
This, to me, is college football's version of what the Houston Astros did back in 2017.
Nah, well, maybe.
That, to me, is what this is.
Yeah, I guess. They weren't banging on trash cans. You know, I mean, I've got a total different take on baseball because they've been stealing signs and forecasting them forever.
But that's organic,
right?
That to me is inbound,
right? The Astros took it to another level,
as did Michigan.
They were they were still signaling. You know what I mean?
Correct.
In the final analysis,
it may not be an apples to apples comparison.
Yeah.
But what you're doing and undercutting, I think, the respect of the game to me and the way that they did it.
But what the Astros were doing, the Astros were doing it live in game, meaning they were seeing the signs, and this was an orchestrated effort to get signs ahead of time, so you know what play is coming, etc. Yeah, I know it's nuance.
It is. That's all.
Tomato.
Then you got the situation, Tim, with Jose Altuve hitting that home run at the end of the walk-off there, and he's got what I think was a little buzzer underneath his jersey. And he's signaling to his teammates around in third base, hey, don't take my jersey off. Don't rip my jersey off. Then he comes out and says, oh, you know what?
This is my pacemaker.
My wife didn't want me to take my shirt off on national TV. It's like, okay, we know what's going on here. And so, look, Michigan, they'll get their season started on August 30th at home against New Mexico. The big game that we mentioned, week 2, against Oklahoma will be nationally televised, 7:30 kick on ABC. Look, just from a football side of things, they're going to be an interesting watch for me this year just to see what the heck they have going on at the most important position. The offense was just in quicksand last year because they got nothing out of their quarterback, but they won. Look, a couple big-time games, obviously, against Ohio State, and you look at what they did in the postseason as well. But there's so much buzz, Tim, for both Ohio State and Michigan right now at the most important position with Julian Sayin and Lincoln here, and then Bryce Underwood up there in Ann Arbor with all the money that they spent on him. But the respect that he's earned just as far as what he did in high school and where he is in the recruiting world.
Yeah, we'll see if that translates. It's going to be interesting because I saw an online gaming site where you could bet on football or quarterback battles that are still going on in college football. And Julian Sayin, I would have to say, looked like a pretty, if not overwhelming, a stout favorite over Lincoln Keno's. But then they listed all 4 Michigan quarterbacks. So that's either how close to the vest they're keeping it at Michigan, or how what a quandary it is maybe. But they end up with Bryce Underwood. You got to figure eventually one form or fashion. So, but yeah, the interesting thing, Sharon Moore, one of the 2 games he misses is Nebraska game, right?
Nebraska is, yes. So that'll be September 20th on the road in Lincoln.
Okay, that'll be interesting because I think Nebraska is going to be better, maybe a lot better. That doesn't mean they're going to win that many more games, but on the road at Nebraska, that could be
a tough one.
That's a penalty.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we know that environment is one of the best, not only in the
I'm just talking about the team they're going to face,
country, but 100%, right? With the quarterback that they have that now has experience to go along with the skill set that he has, and Matt Rule has a history, whether it's Temple, whether it's Baylor, of you get to year 2, you get to year 3 with him as the head honcho of the program, and you usually gets that thing in order. Ohio State, as we know, Tim, as always, honestly, they have a target on their back that's pretty darn big. But this year, I think you could say maybe you've gone from a large to an extra large target on the back of their uni. And so Aaron Taylor, former Golden Domer for Notre Dame, does some really good work over at CBS Sports. He was asked about Ohio State having the target on their back in 2025, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, but they're moving from the hunter to the hunted. That's a whole new set of problems.
That's not new for Ohio State.
It's not new, but when you have the target on your back and you've got complacency and human nature that can set in, it does become a little bit different of a set of challenges than what they had a year ago. They've got 2 brand new coordinators that they need to break in. They've got a brand new quarterback they're going to need to break in. Their offensive line, which really became a strength after the injuries last year, was decimated. So a lot of new faces there. And that NFL talent on the defensive side of the ball, it's a much different set of circumstances this year. Honestly, they remind me of what Michigan had to go through last year, figuring out all those pieces early in the season. But you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. They've earned that, but it's not going to be an easy road for them, and I think it's going to be challenging.
One word that he said in that clip, Tim, that stuck with me is complacency.
Yeah, I don't know where that
And I don't know how you can jump to that conclusion right now.
Because it's cliche. It's what you expect from a team that won it all a year ago.
Maybe so.
This is, in so many ways, a totally different team.
That's the key. And the reason why I don't think we'll see any complacency at all is because now you got guys that are so hungry to become household names and prove this is the reason why Ryan Day recruited me to Ohio State. I think this team is going to be really hungry. And with the leaders that they have, I don't think those guys are going to allow any complacency.
And even the offensive line, they got 3 starters back on the offensive line in the middle of the offensive line. And I'm talking about who finished the season last year. And Luke Montgomery, who really came on, Carson Hinsman, who, had that sabbatical going on, and he finally got shoved back in there and he showed what he's all about. And then Integra Shabola at the center guard spots. I think they've got talent at the offensive tackle spots. But my point is, those guys, Carson Hinsman and Luke Montgomery were afterthoughts this time a year ago. Then they proved themselves hugely in the playoffs. I mean, go back and watch Travion Henderson's, oh my goodness, bolt of lightning, screen, pass, catch, and run, and watch those 3 guys I just named out front. I mean, it was cool. And then defensively, to say that a defense that's going to have 8 new starters, full-time starters on it, is complacent is really not getting to the point. I think Aaron Taylor does a hell of a job. I've always liked him.
He's great.
And stuff.
Yeah, great.
But I'm saying you're looking at it from afar, and even Rick Neuheisel called him out, if you heard him, on that idea. Because this is, as Ryan Day, I'm repeating this because Ryan Day has said it several times, this is a young, to a certain extent, inexperienced team from a total experience standpoint, but it is a talented team, man. We're sitting there talking to the defensive lineman yesterday, and I'm just going, there's Will Smith's kid, and he's really come on, Will Smith Jr., and he's playing a different position than his dad did at Ohio State from playing defensive tackle instead of end and stuff. But you can just see in his eye, there's a gleam going on there, and he's a guy that really, he and Tywan Malone and Jason Moore and several of these other guys had to step up in that defensive tackle spot when Edric Houston went down at the beginning of camp. He's back. He's going to look good from the get-go. It looks like it was more of a scare than anything else for him. But my point, there's so many guys that are eager beavers to go build another dam on that defensive side of the ball. So we'll see how it goes. You're facing you're facing a guru when it comes to offense in that opening game, but they too have a first-time, full-time starting quarterback and a lot of other new guys, especially on the offensive line. So I think that's going to be such an interesting part of that game to watch.
I completely agree. In Texas, on their side of things, talking about offensive line play, they are down one of their starting offensive linemen. It looks like he is going to be potentially done for the entire season. So it's been funny to me, Tim, that the vibe that I've felt about Texas and Ohio State is that Texas on their side just has the experience, and they don't.
No,
they don't.
They lost 12 guys in the draft.
And even their quarterback, who has played in a few games, has yet to throw a pass on the road anywhere. And we know that place is going to be absolutely rocking on August 30th, that being the shoe. So inexperience is there for both sides. And so you have 2 really good head coaches that are ready to go at it again, as they did in the playoff. But the game itself may be a little clunky, maybe early in the game until everybody settles in.
Filling out process.
100%. Coming up here in 2 minutes, it looks like the Browns could be getting a boost on the offensive side of the ball. We'll fill you in on the latest next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Want to take a quick moment to talk about the wonderful folks up in Marion at McDaniel GM Superstore. I needed a new vehicle about a month and a half ago, and I was like, where should I go? And then I thought to myself, McDaniel GM Superstore is the best place to be because up there they have over 180 new vehicles on their website. All they believe in up there is transparency with every car deal that they do. They have a 2025 Silverado 1500. You can get up to $13,000 off MSRP. It is not a long drive to Marion, and it is worth the wait. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Chevrolet, together. Let's drive. Tim May, the Browns are an interesting squad right now, aren't they? A lot of this is rooted in what's going on with the quarterbacks, and we will get to that here in a little bit. But unfortunately, a former Buckeye and now current Cleveland Brown and Quinshon Judkins had to deal with a legal situation over the last few weeks. We now have some clarity on that, and the latest is Quinshon won't face a formal misdemeanor battery charge over the alleged domestic incident that happened in Florida last month. So prosecutors declined to pursue charges after reviewing police reports, body-worn camera videos, video surveillance photos, and other things as well. So he was arrested on a misdemeanor domestic violence and battery charge on July 12th in Fort Lauderdale. And so, look, I am not an attorney. I don't really understand a whole bunch of this law stuff, Tim A. It's way above my head. It feels to me that this is a positive step for him to get back to football. I don't know if he's completely out of the woods just yet, but when we talk about football only with Quinshon, he is in a situation to where I believe he can be an impactful dude for them right away. We saw it with our own eyes. Last year, the duo of Quinshon and Travion was tremendous, and those guys did some really, really special things. But now you go into the NFL, and that's all you're looking for is an ability right away and not have to wait maybe a year or two or whatever it may be to be a dude in the league. And so now for Quinshon, if this is 100% behind him, it can all be about ball.
Yeah, I would like to be a fly on the wall in the contract negotiations, because that probably will move swiftly, if in fact there is such a thing in the Browns' favor, because you pretty much know what you're going to get as a rookie, a draftee and stuff. But we'll see where that goes. But yeah, and like I said a while ago about the Michigan thing, you can't just erase from people's minds that you got arrested on a domestic violence charge. It was a delayed charge, which always struck me as odd to begin with. 7 days before he was arrested after it allegedly happened, and they cohabitated during that time. So what a strange thing. And it sounds to me like they did their due diligence, at least the law enforcement agencies down in Fort Lauderdale in Florida, in Broward County. Is that Broward County? I think it is.
I think it is,
But the point is, now that's behind you.
Yep.
Number one. Number two, you don't let yourself get into that position ever again. And now you move on to football. And what Quinshon brought, I think, was obvious to everybody that just stands out. On top of everything, the guy ran through arm tackles. I mean, I don't know how to explain it better than that. And arm tackles don't get any much more fierce than what you face in the playoffs in major college football, in my opinion. That's just a simplistic way of saying what I think he brings to the table, which is power, man. I mean, and violence. And I'm not playing off, his arrest charges by any stretch. But the bottom line is that's what he brings to you when he runs. I mean, he rarely ever is in second gear. He's always in third gear going as hard as he can go. And we all saw him on some of those breakaways run out of gas. So he's got about a 40 or 50 yard top end, and then he's popping the drag chute, pulling over. But the bottom, that's what he brings, man. And that's what you need in major college football. In the NFL, you need that guy that's going to get you those 3, 5, 7 yards.
Yep.
Especially late in the third quarter and the fourth quarter when defenses have had enough of you. And that's what he brings that a lot of backs don't bring.
The physicality you're talking about, I think, plays very well with AFC North football. And Quinshon, to me, feels like an AFC North style runner with his physicality more so than Travion. And that's not to say Travion is not going to have success in the league, because I think he will. And we've seen him already balling out in New England with that kickoff return he took to the house on the first snap of their game last week.
That was Travion
to the match, right? And you're just hearing how they're falling in love with him out there. Vrabes, I'm sure, had some really good intel, obviously, with him being a former Buckeye and watching the games itself. But Travion just checks all the boxes you can want, and I think Quinshon can provide some of that.
He checks other boxes on another page. Quinshon does.
Oh, Quinshon, yeah.
He checks other boxes, and that's what you like about him. And I don't know, man, 3 touchdowns in a national championship game.
That'll work.
That'll work against Notre Dame and his vaunted defense. Yeah, that's why you got drafted, and you should be expecting that if you're a Browns fan, of him to be able to bring that from the get-go.
And that's going to be fascinating, bringing it back to Ohio State quickly to see, is there a guy or is it going to be guys this year, whether it's C.J. Donaldson, James Peoples, Bo Jackson, the guys.
It'll be 2 or 3 of those guys for sure.
That are in that running back room, and that's probably the smart way to do it, especially when you're a program like Ohio State that expects to play 14, 15, maybe even 16 games.
Turbo Rogers, man, seasons. Don't count him out.
Got to have them, right? You got to have depth, especially at that position with how physically demanding it is. And so Coach Lachlan, I thought, did a heck of a job, right? Because sometimes I think it can feel like it's easy to coach up a whole bunch of talent, but you got to know when to, hey, this is a good spot for Travion. This is a good spot for Quinshon. Just the timing of those decisions from a coach, too, are so important.
Okay, when you coach, everybody is not the same guy.
100%.
So you got to coach everybody a little bit differently, except I don't see that much difference when we've gotten to watch Carlos Lachlan do his thing between the way he coached Quinshon and coached Travion.
Yeah.
Quinshon, very much so, but Travion to the utmost in blitz pickup. Forget about running the ball. He got it across to them in big time fashion how important that is, and they approached it with gusto. They're working on the same approach with James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson, and then right on down the line with Bo Jackson. Boy, every time we've gotten to watch practice, Bo Jackson has jumped out at you. Go figure, right?
Lamar
Speaking
Bo
of
Jackson,
having
right?
a target on your back, as Aaron Taylor would say, being named Bo Jackson. But but they've just stood out. And the thing about it stands out to me about Carlos Lachlan, one time we were talking, and somebody asked him about the stiff arm. You go, we don't stiff arm, you punch. I mean, he teaches the punch, which should not be confused at all with the Heisman Trophy stiff arm. It's a get off of me or shove your face into the ground kind of thing. And you saw Travion and Quinshon both excel in that regard. Getting out on the edge.
Sends a message.
Keep your mess away from my legs.
100%. If you're a running back and you pull that off early in a game, that's in the mind of a defender late in games when they're tired. Do I really want to deal with this dude trying to take my face off with a stiff arm? So I love that.
Do I get planted in the mud or do I get planted into the field turf? Is there really any difference?
Correct.
And the thing, what I'm getting to here is both of those guys are taking that into the league, that mentality. And that's what sets them. I thought they were both maybe later draft picks than they should have been just on their performance last year, because no running back plays 50 plays anymore in the National Football League in a game.
Not a lot of those guys. It's very rare that you see that. Bottom line is, when it comes to Carlos Lachlan, you got to trust this guy. Look at his track record.
Yeah.
Going back to Memphis.
I just like because he's different.
Yeah, and he seems like a cool, good dude. He really does.
But there's intensity there that should never be discounted.
Correct.
He has an intensity about him. He's come up the hard way. He calls himself the walk-on coach.
Yeah.
Because he had to prove himself. And of course, you see Oregon trying to claw back money from him after he left there for what turned out to be even greener pasture, which was Ohio State. We'll see how that goes because, he doesn't really want to talk about that. But the point is he's now a valuable commodity
100%
in college football.
When you look at what he did at Memphis with the backs he had there that went on to the NFL. Look at what he did at Oregon with talented guys and being able to coach up multiple guys that are talented at the same time, I think is a great thing that he brings to the table. And I expect that success coming out of the running back room to continue. We will round out the first hour of the show on a Friday, as we always do, with overs and unders. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Matty Ice here. Are you ready to rumble? Then get ready to roll on up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, they're unleashing huge savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado 1500. We're talking about up to $13,000 off MSRP. Or if you need some serious muscle, get a 2025 Silverado HD for as low as 3.9% APR for qualified buyers. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. fresh for everyone.
Save big on eggs. Right now, 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs are on sale for just $3.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Do you feel that? The season is getting closer. Buckeye football comes your way in 15 days. Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice presents Overs and Unders.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, welcome back in the house today, the one and only Tim May, but it's time for TLC to do his thing. What's up, big dog? You feeling all right over there today?
Oh, I'm all good over here.
Okay, so we're eating a little sandwich or something?
Oh, yeah.
What do you got? A little lettuce wrap?
We got breakfast over here.
Okay.
We got a little Costco Asian wrap with dressing, as it's labeled.
That sounds amazing. I was just telling Tim May, I don't ever eat breakfast anymore. Yeah. I really don't.
I don't either.
I think I've consumed breakfast over the last couple months once.
The only time I ever eat breakfast is when somebody go, hey, let's go to breakfast.
That's it. Other than that, like I have no breakfast items at all.
I've never been a big breakfast guy though, except maybe on the road when you're back when we used to cover the games and you'd be with a bunch of guys on a Saturday morning and things like that. But I like breakfast food. I just
too. Yeah, I just don't seek it out.
Yeah, I'll have breakfast food in the evening if that's what's available.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. If any listeners ever want to go meet up for pancakes at Bob Evans or IHOP for dinner, fine by me.
Yes.
Well, I'll be there.
But Maddie and I, we eat a little bit more healthy than that, though, don't we?
I try,
pancakes.
Man. I try.
But nothing's better than pancakes.
Okay, so pancakes, waffles.
I like pancakes. I like pancakes over waffles.
Me too.
And I like pancakes smothered in maple syrup, which is probably not good for you either. But
a little butter in there.
But I used to just eat pancakes with butter on them because I think
that's different.
That gets to the core of is it a good pancake or not?
I only go out for pancakes really if it's like if it's somebody's birthday. If it's like a family member's birthday, we'll go out for brunch or something.
Oh, I thought maybe you gave them a birthday pancake.
No, that's not a tradition in our family.
Candle in the middle.
You are the first person I've ever heard in my life that says that they used to eat just pancakes with butter. I've never heard anybody say that.
I don't explain. I do like maple syrup. Like I said, I'll smother, but I like a lot of butter on it. I mean, because I grew up eating cornbread.
Oh yeah.
You know, my mom made the best skillet cornbread you could ever eat, man. You know, she was from the South. We're from the South and stuff. Cornbread and turnip greens was a staple. Okay. And boy, and what you really liked, it wasn't necessarily the turnip greens, it was what my dad called the pot liquor, which was the juice. After you made turnip greens, you'd soak the cornbread in it. Yeah. It doesn't get any better than that.
It sounds good. That sounds like a Sunday at my grandma's house right there. Soul Food Sunday.
Well, I'm 71.
Right that's what it sounds
could be
like. If I do pancakes, though, they have to have the crispy edges. I'm big on
me too.
That. Growing up with my aunts and my grandma. No. You got to have the crispy edges, though, if we're going to do pancakes.
I'm with you.
And do them right. All right, TLC. What do you got in overs and unders today?
All right, this one's for you.
Okay.
How many you getting against Milwaukee? You got 3 tries over under half a game.
This is a big series. It's a big series. Important time of year for my Redlegs. We're in the mix for this postseason race. I think we're about a half game back in that wild card race. However, we are dealing with the hottest team in all of baseball right now.
I'm telling you, you only need one for this game.
The Milwaukee Brewers have won 11 in a row?
No, it's at least 12, if not 13.
It's crazy what they're doing right now.
So much so that FanDuel, which I can say, has a specific prop. When will be the Brewers' next loss?
I'm here to tell you it's coming this weekend.
All right.
Give me the over. My Redlegs, we're getting one. We're getting one against the Brewers.
In other words, you're not taking with the summer shandy they're mixing up there with the Brewers, is what you're saying, right?
That's exactly
the summer shandy. I hope my question isn't about baseball because I will probably flunk it.
No, here you go. How many regular season games will Ohio State have a rushing touchdown over under 11.5? Reason being is because I was shocked to see that the odds are plus 360 for Ohio State to get a rushing touchdown in every single game.
Well, when you consider the national championship game,
only regular season,
they had 3. I'm just going back on how they really like to do business. Everybody thinks, for example, Brian Hartline is going to be winning down, air it out, the Tim May philosophy. No, he wants to run he wants to call a real offensive game, not just feature his guys, the wide receivers. You know what? I don't know, man, because I've been looking at their schedule a little bit, and I don't see anybody shutting them out or scaring them from a shutout standpoint defensively. Yeah. I don't really see that. Texas probably did the best job against them defensively in really the playoffs, but they've lost a bunch of guys on that defense. I would take the over on that because that's 12 games, right?
Yeah.
I think they're going to score a rushing because they want to come out of the gate. I'm telling you, establishing the running game. I know that's cliche, but they definitely want these running backs much involved because the way you get Jeremiah Smith even more wide open and Carnell Tate is to have that running game going. So I'm going to take the over on that.
Yeah, I'm with you on.
I know they want to score a rushing touchdown against Michigan for sure.
Well. And there's a whole nother,
and that's the 12th one.
And then there's a whole nother conversation there. Do you need to get caught up in trying to play that game with them?
Well, I don't know. I think if you have
conversation there.
I think if you have the wherewithal to put an exclamation point on a victory, that's how you do it.
Okay, so you're saying kind of game in hand already?
Yeah, and then run it down their throat.
I'm not mad at that. So just to make sure I have a full grasp of what you're asking, hit me with the question one more time.
How many regular season games will Ohio State have a rushing touchdown over under 11.5? The over is plus 360. Like, who's holding Ohio State to like 10 points?
I don't see anybody doing that. I really don't. So I think I'm going to roll with you on this.
The thing you have to roll the dice with an Ohio State offense is they could get some huge plays where you don't get to run it in, meaning, Jeremiah, Carnell Tate. Brandon Ennis, by the way, is even though he had some big plays last year, he's my real step-up player this year because he's finally going to be a regular, it looks like.
Yeah.
And so I could see where that would still be iffy. They could score 5 touchdowns and not have a rushing touchdown.
That's true. I love that you brought up Brandon Ennis.
Well, of course they could because anything's possible.
I've been thinking about, as Kevin Garnett told us, anything is possible when he was winning a title with the Celtics. But I've been thinking a lot about Brandon Ennis and Max Clare.
Yeah.
Those two guys and the roles that they can play. Because there's going to be some food left at the buffet line when Carnell and Jeremiah go through that line and put all the food on their plates.
Yeah.
Who's going to take advantage of that? And I think you mentioned one, and Max Clare, as you know, at Purdue last year, really balled out and played at a high level. And because of the attention the other guys that we're talking about will garner, then you have to have Max Clare being an impactful player, which I think he has a chance to be this year.
Absolutely.
Really
absolutely. That's why they went and got him.
Yep.
How many games is Penn State going to win? The over-under is pretty even with the odds, and it's 10.5.
So the big boys right now on paper for them, Oregon at home, Ohio State on the road, Indiana at home.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 3 that jump off this page right now just because they have numbers attached to them. Those are top 25 teams in the AP poll. I'm going to go with the over on that. It's pretty light, their schedule. And I don't know what Indiana's going to be right now. Mendoza, this kid that they got at quarterback that has come in from Cal.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I like to say his name.
Fernando.
No. Fernando
there
Mendoza.
You go. Mendoza. They believe in him.
Oh, yeah.
There. And
I think he's a better quarterback than they had last year.
They've returned a lot, Indiana, again. So they lost some dudes, but they still have some in-house talent that was there last year. I will go with the over, though, for Penn State. I will.
Boy, that's interesting because I think I think Indiana's more for real than most people think. I really do. I don't think last year was not. You don't win as many games as they won last year by a fluke. Yeah. And they had but I think that game could be the telling point of whether you win the over or under in this one. But Oregon's going to be tough for them, even playing on the road. We saw Oregon come in here to Ohio State and play a game at 9 a.m. Oregon time and win like several years ago.
Well, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is going to be a talented Oregon team. So I don't know. I might take the under on the is it 10.5?
Yeah, 10.5.
I might take the under.
Okay.
Because 10 still gets you in the
playoff.
Playoff.
Yeah, probably.
Everybody's favorite Fighting Illini. The over-under is at 8.5, and the under is a significant favorite.
Boy, is it really?
I like it.
What are the 4?
You said Illinois, right?
Illinois.
I would take the over on that just as a lark because I think Illinois is more solid than some people think.
Ranked 12th in the AP poll. They got the big one against Ohio State at home.
Got their quarterback back, Altmaier.
Luke Altmaier's a dude. Their offensive line's intact for the most part.
Correct.
Their defense has been pretty salty under Brett Bielema's watch since he came back.
They always have one game, though, that doesn't make sense.
Correct.
Go ahead.
I'm going with the over, though. It's Indiana. It's Ohio State. Other than that, I think they're going to be making some noise.
That is and Austin Ward said this too, but I've said it also. I don't mind repeating myself. That is a sneaky pothole on Ohio State's road this year.
No question.
To repeat is the game at Illinois.
No question. Coming up. The Manning Award watch list was revealed yesterday for the top quarterback in the nation. We will react to that after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I've got a public service announcement for your taste buds. The legendary Sanders Bumpy Cake is finally here in Ohio. Yes, that Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. Rich devil's food cake topped with smooth buttercream bumps and smothered in thick chocolatey fudge. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed until now. Perfect for your next barbecue, tailgate, or a family function. And if you've never had one of these, well, trust me, once you try it, you're going to be hooked. Grab your Sanders Bumpy Cake today at Kroger or Meijer and taste what the hype's all about.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
At High Bank Distillery, they believe every pour should tell a story. Their Whiskey War spirits tell the story of Prohibition in every sip and was awarded the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running. Enjoy High Bank's nationally recognized spirits distilled right here in Ohio. Drink the best. Forget the rest. Learn more at highbankdistillery.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinder Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting hindermotorcompany.com.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The sanctions and punishments for the Michigan sign stealing scandal have been announced. They include a loss of postseason revenue the next 2 seasons, which is expected to be upwards of $20 million. The 1-game suspension added to Sharon Moore's already self-imposed 2-game ban, a 10-year show cause for Jim Harbaugh, 8 years for Connor Stallions. The Michigan program will also be on probation for 4 years. The Cincinnati Reds starting a home series with the Milwaukee Brewers at 6:40 this evening. Pre-game coverage over on ESPN Columbus begins at 6:10. The Cleveland Guardians welcoming the Atlanta Braves to Progressive Field at 7:10. And the Columbus Blue Jackets have signed defenseman Damon Hunt to a 1-year, 2-way deal. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Swimming in debt with rates as low as 8.99% APR. Save your summer with a debt consolidation loan. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate.
Live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Happy Friday to you. We're Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. TLC on the board. Tim May in the house today filling in for our guy AR. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk all things National Football League with Sam Brookhouse from Sumer Sports. 2:30, talk all things Major League Baseball with our guy Jensen Lewis in our Chin Music segment as both the Guardians and the Reds are in the mix. So fun times happening right now here in Ohio when it comes to the baseball squads. If you missed Ryan Day's update at the top, we've got news now when it comes to Michigan, Tim May.
Ryan who?
What did I say?
Ryan Day.
Did I say Ryan Day? I'm sorry. Ryan Baker.
Ryan Day's doing updates on the Fan now?
Boy, I missed it. It would be nice to have Coach Day doing some updates. That would be fun to hear there. But yes, Ryan Baker in his update, Tim May, hit us with the latest happenings coming out of the college football world when it comes to Michigan and the NCAA and the punishments that are now hitting that program. Real quick, just your thoughts again, Tim, on the punishment and what you think this means for Michigan moving forward.
Well, number one, Adam King reminded me by text that that's almost exactly what he predicted the punishments would be. So I give it up to Adam King.
There you go.
10 TV.
Shout out.
And I'll give it up to Dom.
Tweeting out that that Stallion scandal video for the 19th
So
time.
wait, you're telling me Adam King's you're telling me Adam King's
Hey.
patting himself on the back?
Yeah.
That's a surprise. To hear.
Try to cherry pick some likes on Twitter.
In this world of-
recycling his most popular tweet.
In this world of CCTV, I mean, that's important to have it on video, man. That you were doing this, and hats off to him. I also want to mention Dom Taberry and Nicole Sharon so they don't get jealous of me
we
mentioning
love them
Adam.
too. We love
you know
them
how that
too.
goes.
Yeah, we love them
in
too.
that room right across the street, or right across the way over here. But I mean, I think the punishment pretty much fits because where you want to hit people anymore, especially in major college sports, is in the pocketbook because it is not easily replaced or replenished, in my opinion, with everybody with the revenue sharing going on, et cetera. And what else we talked about earlier, what else were they going to do? Jim Harbaugh is gone. Connor Stallions is gone. Bernard Robinson is gone. They got penalized for more than just
Jesse
the Connor
Minter
Stallions.
is gone.
But
All
they
these
got-
guys. Yeah.
But they got penalized for more than just the Connor Stallions thing. This also had to do with the recruiting questions that were being asked of Jim Harbaugh, who basically, the way you understand it, gave the NCAA little or no information, would not answer the questions. See, they're getting hammered more for that aspect of it than they are the actual, I don't know what to call it, crimes, rules breakage, because they're not crimes necessarily. But so they got their just due in terms of financially. You can debate forever whether they should have the national championship taken away from them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you really do that? How do you really do that? And everybody go, yeah, you're right. They weren't the champion then. Well, who was? Well, there wasn't one that year.
We saw the game. Yeah, you know what I mean? That stuff is always a little funky there for sure. And so now I think Michigan can move forward. Me personally, we can move forward. What I think would have been maybe not a justified punishment, but a punishment that could have had other programs, if they were thinking of doing things like this, maybe shy away from those thoughts, was to ban them from the postseason. For how long? I don't know. Maybe that's a year, 2 years, whatever it was, but that clearly is not happening. And now Michigan, I'm sure, is feeling good about not only, what they did by winning the national championship, because I know Michigan fans. I got friends of mine that are Michigan fans, and they don't think what they did was the worst thing in the world. So I'm sure they're celebrating today.
Here's the thing. It wasn't what they did. I keep going back. It was the fact that they sort of flaunted it when they were caught, and like Adam's correcting me.
He said that to me too.
No, what he's correcting me on is this is the conversation we had yesterday on how we thought this was going to go down. Is it was going to be a fine. There weren't going to be games negated from their history books, et cetera. But the main thing is how they, in essence, said this is no big deal. Keep moving. Well, they broke an they broke an actual rule.
No question.
And then wouldn't admit to it. And then when they sort of admitted to it, they didn't admit to it. And then they weren't forthcoming when they were called on it by the NCAA. And then, of course, they had the recruiting deal that was going on. It was probably minor, but the way they treated it, it was like, we're Michigan. We don't cheat. We didn't cheat. I mean, you heard the spiel from the now banned for 10 years coach from coaching in the NCAA, show cause in the NCAA, Jim Harbaugh. So, that's what bothered you the most about it. Is I was on a couple of radio shows up there where they, during that period where the actual hosts were...
We play that when people flex on us here on the show.
Well,
so that's all it was.
Well, I wasn't flexing. The guys were yelling. One guy was yelling at me like this is, and I'm just going, no, they cheated. Well, you call it whatever you want, but they cheated.
They were trying to gaslight everybody into thinking what they're doing wasn't what we were seeing.
Yeah, this is no big deal.
Right.
Everybody Ohio State still says, as the game goes on, you scout the hell out of teams. But you didn't. Ohio State has not been found to have sent anybody 2 games ahead of time to videotape to send their friends and family. Even though you're on a limited budget yourself, you're buying them fairly expensive tickets to go to games. And by the way, when you're there, could you just take some cell phone video, or maybe use this camera and take some video for me? Because I just love the atmosphere at that stadium.
No doubt.
Baloney,
Crazy.
I'm sorry, I get all worked up about
I agree.
it.
I'm a fried bologna sandwich type of guy, by the way. I'm in on that. I used to grow up on those, man.
It ain't the best for you, but boy, is it good tasting.
Man, you put that thing on the skillet, Tim, and the edges of that bologna start to curl up a little bit.
That place up in Waldo or whatever, where they've got, oh, man.
That's a win right there. A little bologna sandwich, a little sauteed onions and some mustard on that thing.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up.
It's a hot dog.
There.
But they just don't call it that.
It's flat. It's a flat hot dog.
Hot dog.
It is.
Packs a lot easier.
Tim May, I know you couldn't wait. I know you were anticipating, that the Manning Award watch list was about to drop.
Yeah, I was.
No, you could not wait for this thing to drop, and it is here for you, my friend. The Manning Award goes to, for the folks that don't know, because this award's only been around for right around 20 years. This hasn't been around for that long, but it goes to the top quarterback in college football year in and year out. So the first one went to Matt Leinart in 2004. And the last one in 2024 went to Cam Ward last year down in Miami. So now we've got the watch list out there. And I want to mention this because I know this watch list has been receiving a bunch of attention because there's one name that's not on the list that really has some people surprised, and it is Arch Manning. But what I've been reading is that you cannot qualify for this award if you are a transfer or a newcomer. And so that's why I believe Arch Manning is not on this list.
Well, he's on Paul Feinbaum's list as the greatest quarterback possibly of all time.
Crazy.
So, I mean, he's on the Feinbaum list.
It's crazy.
But number one, number two, this is his, third year at Texas? Or
that
fourth?
I believe is
I'm trying to remember how many years
he's
he's been there.
Redshirt sophomore.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you mean newcomer?
I know.
He's even played. Exactly. He's played in the SEC championship game. I mean, didn't do that well in the SEC championship game. Was kind of hit or miss against Georgia last year. But no, I don't understand why he's not on there.
That makes sense to me either. When I read the definition this morning, I was like, that's a bit of a head scratcher. But they found some loophole to not have him in it. I will say this.
Wait a minute, does that mean he can't actually even win it?
I don't believe he's eligible for this season. I don't think that's the case. You do have, though, Peyton, Eli, and Archie. They are on the voting panel for the Manning Award. And so some of the headliner names that are out there, Drew Aller at Penn State, Luke Altmaier at Illinois. You have Cade Klubnik at Clemson, Lenore Sellers at South Carolina.
I like him.
Garrett Nussmeier at LSU. Diego Pavia was a fun watch last year at Vanderbilt, and he's had some kind of spicy comments, I think.
Doesn't matter, boy.
He
can play.
He can go.
He can play football.
He can go. And a quarterback Ohio State will see early on in the process is OU, that being Ohio U's quarterback in Parker Navarro. He's a senior, and so a name to watch there. I'll tell you a name that we talked about yesterday on the program that I think has a whole bunch of potential with his skills is Avery Johnson at Kansas State. He's now a junior. He was the guy that some people down there say he was the reason why they were okay with allowing Will Howard to go on to do other things. Worked out tremendously for Ohio State, as we know. But he's a fun watch with his electricity, with his legs. He's got a big arm, too. So Kansas State, I don't know how much noise they're really going to be making, but if you're looking for a quarterback outside of the Big Ten or SEC to watch and maybe get some entertainment from, he's the kid for me.
Yeah, he was a little inconsistent last year, just when you thought he was going to step in and take that offense to places Will Howard couldn't, Meanwhile, Will Howard played in and won the national championship game and made some of the great clutch throws in college football history throughout the playoffs. It was crazy how good he was. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, but like, the kid from Ohio U, Parker Navarro, I think he's a transfer from UCF.
Okay.
And so he's eligible for this award.
Eligible.
I mean, he played last year, obviously, for Ohio. But so I really don't understand the qualifications for this particular award, especially if Arch Manning ends up being as good as everybody thinks he is, if Julian Sayin ends up being as good as he could be, or Lincoln Kenios, because that hadn't been decided, but that's going to probably get decided tomorrow in that scrimmage situation. Maybe being decided as you and I are talking right now. Who knows, right?
I love that if that.
But I don't know. I think you're going to be leaving some meat on the bone, so to speak, when you give out this award. If somebody who wins a national championship wasn't eligible,
right. We were talking real quick about Parker Navarro, Ohio's quarterback, who Ohio State will see. You're right. 2021, he was at UCF.
Yeah,
he's been at OU for 3 years now. Last year, 13
So he's
touchdowns,
established residency.
11 interceptions. Yes. This jumps off the screen to me, and something I'm sure that will grab the attention of Matt Patricia. Parker Navarro last year, over 1,000 yards on the ground with 18 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's a playmaker, bro.
Okay, a little dual threat action coming at him.
Oh, yeah.
Early on in the season. So, again, just a name to watch on the Manning Award watch list is Parker Navarro. Coming up next, as always, on Friday, in our second segment of the second hour, we do Under Pressure. That's next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
Win big at El Dorado Scioto Downs, your Caesars Rewards hotspot. Play over 1,700 hot games. Sip craft brews at Brew Brothers. And dine at Guy Fieri's Trattoria with its famous 68-layer lasagna. Enjoy live music at Vail Bar and harness racing now through September. Experience nonstop thrills where rewards never stop. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers, and you want to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill, hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
I'm here with my friend Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Bob, I hear you guys are having a big sale.
You know it, Common Man. Can you believe it? We're celebrating our 25-year anniversary.
August 19th through the 23rd, you can save up to 60% off in-stock jewelry.
And we'll have surprises and giveaways in the store all week long.
25 years of Capace goodness. He's my guy. Remember the dates. August 19th through the 23rd. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
The Fan is the official station of summertime. Sipping on a lemonade, the smell of fresh-cut grass in the air, and Common Man playing fart noises on the radio.
Was that a fart?
Summer. The Fan, Ohio's summer destination.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Happy Friday, everyone. We made it. We'll see temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s across central Ohio with plenty of sunshine. And then for tonight, temperatures right around 70 with mostly clear skies. We'll kick off the weekend on Saturday with a little bit more humidity and a little bit warmer. Plenty of sun and highs in the low 90s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Under Pressure.
Sponsored by 3D Cabinetry. 3dcabinetry.net, where quality meets affordability.
All right, Tim May, let's knock it out. Tim May in the house today for AR's time to do Under Pressure, as we always do. We like to think we treat our guests well here from noon to 3. Mm-hmm. So we're going to let you lead off. Who are you putting some pressure on right now?
Lincoln Riley. Because, this is what, when I was on Feinbaum's show, I pointed this out several weeks ago. They were all talking about the SEC like it's the latest, greatest, still the latest, greatest thing. And in fact, it's so yesterday, it's ridiculous, right? If you ever watch that SEC thing on Netflix where they followed several programs around, including Vanderbilt and Clemson, South Carolina, Texas A&M, it was really cool. But what stood out most about the SEC last year was that nobody played defense. Defense was lacking. But Lincoln Riley USC opened with a win over an SEC team last year and closed with a win over an SEC team last year. LSU what? And then what? Texas A&M in the Las Vegas Bowl. Mm-hmm. But now the pressure's on to now step up. I think they've done a pretty good job in the transfer portal and also in recruiting the last couple of years, but especially over the last several months. I know I can get in a debate with some people about that. I think they've filled some holes, but now it's time for them to step up from a defensive standpoint. Just like with Nebraska, the toughest thing Nebraska's been trying to do is rebuild a defense into a championship caliber defense. That's what's missing from the, quote, good old days. Yeah. That's what's been missing from USC's good old days is having a defense. Yeah. I think they're going to be better than last year, but, in that regard. But I think Lincoln Riley's got to step in now. His buyout is such a ridiculous thing. They're still probably not going to do anything about it. Mm-hmm. But he's under pressure to produce to prove that he was the guy that was worth all that.
I completely agree with you. And it's like, for me, in my mind, are you a really, really good offensive mind, or are you a good head coach?
Yeah.
I'm starting to lean toward the former right now.
A lot of guys have to evolve into that, as you well know.
Absolutely. And so he's had so many good things he's done with quarterbacks and offenses, right? With Baker and Kyler and Jalen Hurts and all those guys at Oklahoma. Then you come over to USC and Caleb Williams, throws his magic out there week in and week out. And it looks fun and all that. But for me, it's kind of like,
you got to stop somebody.
He's got the dessert part taken care of. Where's the vegetables and the steak at?
Right.
Where's the important stuff at the good nutrients? And to me, that's your offensive line and your defense and what you do there. And so for Lincoln Riley, he's got to prove that.
And what I always say is defense puts you in position to win championships. Oh, yeah. You don't win championships with defense, but it puts you in position to do it. Or, so, yes.
They've got a 3-game stretch, that being the Trojans of at Illinois, home against Michigan, at Notre Dame.
Right.
Tough sledding there, and then they have Oregon on the road as well on their schedule.
Yeah, but I'm not saying he's got to go undefeated.
No.
You want to see a little bit more magic than you've seen.
I agree.
I mean, just picking on the lowly SEC isn't enough anymore.
Mm-hmm. This was supposed to turn into, when we shifted to the new Big Ten, not only Ryan Day and James Franklin, but also Dan Lanning and Lincoln Riley and some guys that you look at their ages and it's like, okay, there's a lot of runway left with these guys, and that this could be a fun conference at the top.
Just when you think long-term coaches aren't in vogue anymore,
right?
They can end up being those guys.
Yes, no, that's real. That's real. First candidate for me, it's my beloved Cincinnati Reds.
Oh my goodness, you're going back to baseball, man.
It's time. It's the most important time for my Reds. For me, this is the make or break series. You've been grinding all year. You've dealt with some injuries, especially in the pitching staff. Hunter Green's missed some time a couple of times. You're not winning the NL Central. Not at all. But you're a half game back right now of the New York Mets.
You said like Al Franken, that character Al Franken had on Saturday Night Live. We'd look into a mirror. You're smart enough. You're cute enough, and by golly, you're good enough. As he's telling himself, pumping himself up. Yeah, baseball is such a is such a fickle game anymore, and and runs are what it's all about. I'm not talking about. Well, yeah, it's a double entendre,
I
but
completely understand.
But
what
it
you're saying.
fits.
Yeah, it does.
And when your offense goes south occasionally, like with the Guardians, when all of a sudden they couldn't score a run for
things as
3 weeks.
As Adam King told us, when things go south, they can go south.
Yeah,
That's what,
they end
Adam
up in
King,
Key West.
He taught us that. he taught us that. But here's the thing.
Or Brownsville.
Right? You got 3 with Milwaukee this weekend. The Reds have one of the top 5 toughest schedules the rest of the way. So it's Milwaukee, the Angels, and Arizona, your next 3 series. They have to find a way at least for me, to win 2 of those 3 series. It's fun that we're getting this right now. At this point, we're in mid-August, and they're in the mix. That's really all I can ask for.
And I got to let people know who aren't watching on the YouTube channel that you have a Reds cap on.
Right, man.
But
what's
it's
that?
gray.
Yeah, you gotta have some optionality.
It's sort of like a cloud color. Cloud color.
Gotta have that. So I'll go with my Reds. Yeah, I'll go with my Reds. Big weekend for them. I think a lot of pressure to stay in the mix when you're dealing with the best team in the NL right now. Tim, do you have another candidate you would like to put some pressure on?
Yeah, I mean, I just mentioned that road trip to Michigan, to Nebraska. I think it's time for Matt Rule to step up.
And Dylan Raiola. I think I'd like to add him to that as well.
But Dylan Raiola was a freshman last year. I thought he played pretty damn well.
But the level up's got to happen based off of how he was touted and talked about as a recruit.
And he had a couple of moments, and they played Ohio State as well as anybody did. That didn't beat Ohio State last year.
Yep.
But you need him to step up. I think they have the quarterback, is what I'm saying. So now it's, do you have the team to go around that quarterback? Am I predicting them to be in the Big Ten championship game? No. But I think it's time for those patient Nebraska fans to have an 8 or 9 win season.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can get to that. And but I always couch it with this. I really like Matt Rule. I like what he did at Temple. I like what he did at Baylor. He made a mistake by going to the NFL, in my opinion, although you learn lessons when you go there, as Nick Saban will tell you.
Yeah.
But I think college football is his bailiwick. And so now, show something.
Second candidate for me. I'm going with the Penn State wide receivers because that's a unit that I think really has to put up or shut up. If Penn State's going to accomplish what people think they can accomplish this year, I think we're going to be talking about a few names that we're not talking about right now. We know the running backs are good. Singleton and Allen been doing this for a few years now. Their quarterback in Drew Aller, I think, is good. I don't know if he can get to great. I think he's a good college quarterback. We saw it last year. They got a new offensive coordinator over there, Andy Kotelnicki, who came over from Kansas. And the offense looked a little sexier to me. It looked a little bit more explosive.
A little.
But that had Tyler Warren in the mix.
Right.
He ain't around anymore.
Right.
He's over in Indy playing for the Colts.
And when they needed him most against Ohio State, they didn't call his number.
Correct.
Go ahead.
That's
now.
real. And so they made a lot of moves in the portal in that wide receiver room. And so that tells me a lot about what they think of the guys they already had in-house.
Right.
Which isn't a good sign there. And so when you go get 2-3 receivers in one offseason, that's a mini red flag for me. But I think if they're going to be a scare unit on offense, I think it's going to be guys like Trevor Pena coming from Syracuse and some other guys as well. So I'm putting some pressure on the Penn State wide receiving core to get it done this year.
Yeah, so I'll stay in the same place. I'll put it on Drew Aller.
It's fair.
To get it done because he's been close. But in the biggest of games, he hasn't gotten it done. I don't always blame it. I'm not one of those guys. I don't blame it on the quarterback totally.
Yeah.
But I just have seen some bad passes at exactly the wrong time for him and Penn State and the right time for the team they're playing.
Right.
Panic is not the right term, but a little bit of antsiness is the best way of putting it. Is he that guy that can take you, as we were talking about in the break, is he the guy that can take you to the promised land?
Yeah.
There's a difference between Moses. Moses took you to the mountaintop, and then they went down, the Israelites went down into the promised land without him.
Yeah.
I think he can get you to that mountaintop, or the pass, let's put it that way, the mountain pass, double entendre, but can he take you all the way? I'm not sure I'm not sure I think he's that guy.
Does he have a...
But you know what? It can happen.
It can.
John Elway finally won Super Bowls in his last, 2 2 years.
Remember how we looked at, and we knew along the way how good this guy was, but remember how we looked at CJ differently after that Georgia game?
Yes.
And how he just felt and looked like a dominant force at the position. I don't know if Drew Aller has that performance or performances in him just yet, but that's why that's why we play the game.
Isn't it amazing? CJ Stroud, the way he had a couple of games robbed. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Tough one. That Georgia game, we can talk about that till the cows come. Right, with Marvin getting knocked out, and then
Kate Stover got knocked out, but then basically it would have been in essence took a touchdown off the board because they would have probably scored there, and it would have been all she wrote.
Yep, no doubt. And
there would have been no repeat by Georgia.
In the New Year's Eve countdown field goal too. That was just a whole.
Well, yeah,
it was wild how that
was a long field goal, man.
No, I'm just saying. Like I remember watching the game and watching the ball drop at literally 3-2-1 as he was getting ready to kick that field goal.
Oh yeah, we all know that as Spencer Holbrook pointed out when he kicked it. It was still the other day, and when it landed, it was the next day.
Next year. That's good stuff right there. Coming up in 2 minutes, we got some NFL action going on this weekend. Week 2 of the preseason is here, and training camp is rocking and rolling. We will unpack all of that with Sam Brookhouse from Sumer Sports right here on The Fan.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Going to light up the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now. Bring on one of our favorites, Sam Brookhouse, covers the NFL over at Sumer Sports. Sam, happy Friday, my man. How are you?
Happy Friday. We're, 1 week away from getting college football and 2 weeks or 3 weeks away from getting NFL football. So I'm getting goosebumps, man.
Time to roll. I think, next week on Saturday, I think we get, Iowa State and Kansas State in a ranked matchup. And so, it's here, man. No doubt.
An appetizer. It's called an appetizer.
It's going to be fun. Going to be fun because last year, week 0 was the Georgia Tech upset over Florida State.
Yeah,
I believe that absolutely shook the room. So
in Ireland, right?
Yeah, in Ireland, and so time to get after
that Iowa State K-State game is in Ireland as well.
Yeah, that's right.
That really has big Big 12 implications. Yeah. We're having a game in Ireland week 0 that could mean a lot. Come November, which is really exciting. Obviously, we want every week to count in college football, so excited about that one.
No doubt, Sam. Right there with you, my man. Let's go back a little bit. I just want to get your reaction to Shedeur Sanders and what you saw from him on the field in the preseason game. He's not going to be available this weekend, dealing with an oblique injury. But when you saw him going about his business under center for the Brownies, and his first showcase, if you will, what were your thoughts coming out of that one?
Now, look, you got to caveat it because for the most part, he was going against the twos and even in some cases the threes. Now, the Panthers did invest a lot in their depth on the defensive line. So you had guys like Princely, Umin Mielen, and Nick Skorton, who are high picks that were trying to get after him. You saw kind of what the tape was and what originally laid him out as the 20th best prospect in the consensus going into the draft. You saw some of the accuracy, particularly in the red zone on those 2 touchdowns. You saw some of the play extension ability and creativity, and you saw how he can keep kind of the chains moving. I saw a lot of people who were commentating on it that it felt like a Jimmy Garoppolo type or even early Brock Purdy type of someone who can just line up in that type of offense and keep the chains moving. Did I see anything that, shocked me or said that he should certifiably start or that he's going to be a top quarterback in this league? Not necessarily. But you got to remember, he did drop to the 5th round. There's been rumors of why that was. But in the consensus, old scouts, people in the media, people who are reporting on this stuff, people thought he was probably a 1st or 2nd round pick. I think he kind of proved that he has that level of talent. The problem is in the NFL, late 1st to 2nd round talent at the quarterback position does not necessarily mean you are a starter and definitely doesn't mean you're a difference maker.
Yeah. Yes, and it's Tim May, by the way. What stood out to me most watching him was how, for want of another term, how cool he was under pressure, how he bought time nonchalantly almost, and then threw a couple of really nice passes into some windows. You can say, well, whether those will be there or not there in the regular season, well, he's still NFL caliber players on the other side, right? But that's what got me most of all is he did look like he was still back in Colorado. And I'm telling you, this, that's the biggest jump you make is how fast things are moving in front of you when you make that move from college to pro, just like from high school to college. And I thought that really stood out was how the moment was not too big for him.
Yeah, 100%. And his calling card at Colorado, if you remember, was not necessarily creativity or anything like that. It was really his accuracy, and particularly his deep accuracy. Now, he did miss some kind of gimme throws. I was a little disappointed and surprised to see that. But when it came down to it, he showed that level of accuracy at the intermediate and deep levels of the field. And remember, he didn't just show that at Colorado, and he didn't just show that last year with Travis Hunter. He showed it at Jackson State.
Right.
Then he moved up to Colorado with basically an all-new team and a team that really was not the most talented on earth. He did the same thing. And then obviously they got the talent in last year, had a pretty good 8-9 win season, and he showed it there as well. So I'd expect that to continue following. But as you said, you got to keep an eye on that sack avoidance stuff. That's what killed him at Colorado, and you really can't do that at the NFL level.
Talking all things NFL with Sam Brookhouse from Sumer Sports. Let's go down to Cincinnati, and I want to throw this at you. With Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals can accomplish blank. Without Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals can only accomplish blank. Fill in those blanks for me.
It's an interesting question, and we were talking about this yesterday, a group of friends, particularly some that sports bet. And, if Trey Hendrickson were to go out in a game, let's say he plays game 1 and doesn't play game 2, I'd only expect the point spread to move about, a half of a point. So I really think, especially given how bad the defense was with Trey Hendrickson having a Defensive Player of the Year type year, I really don't think that it changes all that much. I think they're probably sitting around a 9 to 10 win team if they are fully loaded on the offense, and they hope that there's some progression up from the dregs of how they performed on defense last year. I think that is the reason why we are in this situation between the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson, because last year they were so terrible on defense despite his play. I don't really know if he's definitely a floor raiser, but I don't really know if he's a ceiling raiser, especially at this age. We don't know what's going to happen with injury. And I think that's the reason this whole situation is happening, is because their projection is probably the same with or without him.
Yeah, it's funny because Nick Bosa one time, the two Bosas played here at Ohio State, and I said to Nick one time, you guys, the great thing about playing defensive end is you guys make 2 or 3 plays a game, and everybody thinks you've had a hell of a game. You know what I mean? Right. But that's not all there is to it. He laughed. He said, "Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's how you get your bonuses. That's how you get your high draft pick and stuff." But I agree with you on that regard. If you can somehow or another make the defense better well, why put all the eggs in one basket? I mean, that's a tough thing. I wanted to ask you this. I said, what team right now do you think in the NFL is most scrambling to get its act together before the season opener? I know that's an open-ended question because you could name 15, 16 teams, right? But what is the team that, as you look around the league, is most in maybe disarray, for want of another term?
I think that's an interesting question, and I think you kind of try to go down the line and look at these divisions. And I think, you just look at the Steelers and the lateness at which they added a quarterback. Rumors out of Steelers camp is that Caleb Johnson, the running back out of Iowa, is not looking as great as they wanted him to. They were a late extension on TJ Watt, and then a trade for Jalen Ramsey, leaving Minkah Fitzpatrick, sending him back to the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if that's a sign of scrambling, but it's definitely a sign that they didn't like what they had coming out of the draft. And so I think I trust in Mike Tomlin more than probably anyone on earth. I think he is an excellent coach, and I think if he were to ever leave Pittsburgh, teams would literally fire their coaches to hire him. But you look at that roster, you look at what happened last year, and I just wonder if they're going to make a true playoff push if they actually have the pieces in order, or they are kind of scrambling, at least from a personnel perspective right now.
Let's go over to the AFC South and talk about the Texans, Colts, Jaguars, and Titans, and who really is legit on that side of things. I think it's easy to jump to the quarterback position and look at C.J. Stroud and lean towards Houston. Is it that simple this year, or do you look at maybe somebody else in that division that could threaten the Texans to bring home the AFC South title?
I view it as kind of a three-tier division. At the top, it's the Texans. They have probably a top three defensive roster. If you really look at it, you look at teams like the Vikings and the Broncos, who are just loaded with Pro Bowl level talent. The Texans are definitely in that class. I think that is the X factor for them. And then you look at C.J. Stroud. I think he should probably bounce back this year, especially given that Nico Collins seems to be healthy. I think Nico Collins is one of the best wide receivers in the league. I think because of that defensive talent, they're a certifiable top in the class. But keep an eye on the Jaguars, and here's why. Liam Cohen last year, the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, maximized literally every person on the field. All of a sudden, they had a good run game in Tampa. The wide receivers were playing well. It was one of Godwin's best seasons before he got hurt. Mike Evans hit 1,000 yards. Again, Jalen McMillan all of a sudden is becoming an option. I wouldn't be surprised if that does not happen in Jacksonville. In particular, I have Brian Thomas Jr. circled. I think there's a real chance that we're talking about him in the same vein as we talk about fellow LSU alum Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson by the end of the year. And if that's the case and Trevor Lawrence is able to kind of get it together, I think that'll free up the entire offense. They have two excellent pass rushers in Trevon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen. That is a true recipe for long-term success. I think they're certifiably too. And then I view kind of the Colts, who somehow win games every year. But I view the Colts and the Titans in the same kind of vein, where the Colts, I think, don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. That's a big question mark. And then the Titans, I think, did a great job of rebuilding their offensive line, and I think they want to play more power football. I just don't know if I can trust in the rookie Cam Ward yet. And it was rough to watch them last year. So I think I really have my eye on the Jaguars to jump up and maybe win that division, but I wouldn't worry about the other two right now.
Okay. Could be a fun matchup in week 2 against the Bengals. That is for sure. Sam, as always, we appreciate your time, my man. Hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Sam was joining us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We got a Buckeye Bulletin on deck. How does Larry Johnson feel about the depth in his defensive line room? He will tell you next. It's Rothman Ice right here on The Fan.
Ever have one of those creepy neighbors who's always getting in your business? That's the team up north. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling, and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
Cash for Clunkers continues during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for Clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HRV two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic 4-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
Is like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding, and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Common Man and Timmy.
Big Dumper. That's quite a nickname. You know, where does a nickname like Big Dumper come from? Is it anything to do differently than you just take giant dumps?
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by Hinderer Motorsports.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Oh, I can't believe we blew a 5-touchdown lead.
Sure, but you got to feel like they were going to win for almost the entire game.
But I was about to buy playoff tickets.
So you were prepared for a good time. That's pretty nice.
It's the worst loss any team has ever had.
And you got to witness history.
Okay, we're done here.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Tim May, let's knock out a Buckeye Bulletin. You know, one of my favorite things to do gearing up for the season is to, at the house, just record all of the media days for SEC, Big 12, Big 10, all of that stuff. Because I just like to hear what the coaches and players are saying and feeling about their team.
Right.
And last year, you
and I have similar lives, which I'm not sure anybody would call that exciting. Go ahead now.
That is true. But last year, one thing that really stuck out to me, especially when we talk about the playoff getting expanded.
I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but we're in LA.
God, I feel so bad for him in that moment.
And everybody goes, what was that? Is that Lower Alabama? Go ahead now. That's an old joke.
No, but I was just going to say, like, one thing that really stuck out to me as we went to the new playoff was coach after coach after coach talking about we need depth. We got to make sure we got a whole bunch of depth because we got a long road ahead of us. And so it's just something that's stuck with me. And it's real. Like, it's real, especially when we're talking about the sport of football that we know is just an absolute grind on these guys' bodies. And so Larry Johnson, seasoned guy, great coach, been around for a long time, coached up some dudes at a very, very high level, now has the challenge of getting guys ready, right? That didn't play a ton last year or didn't play at all. And so how much depth do you have in that room, Coach Johnson? Here's his answer.
Lack of depth means that we don't have it. We have depth. Lack of spirit is what we don't have, right? So that's not lack of depth. So you have to build from within. So what we're trying to do is build depth through experience and practice. But the bodies are there. You know, I mean, they just haven't played football. You know, so we have the depth. We have 6 guys I think can go play. We got to get those guys ready to go play. So to me, it's not about building depth. It's kind of get these guys ready to play. So that's a little different than just building.
Who are those 6 guys?
Well, there's guys that work on K-Mac. Those guys are working really hard. Edger's working really hard. Our Jarquez, a young guy. You know, there's a lot of guys start throwing names out. But my thing is that if I can get 6 guys to play as one, we have a good deal. And that's the whole approach, because we don't know who's going to be the ones, who's going to be the 2s, who's going to be the 3s. It's all about driving them to understand what it takes to play in that first game. And that's our whole focus. So we're not worrying about how many reps they haven't had, how many games they haven't played. The whole idea is to get them ready to play one game and hope we can carry from there. And so we're pushing the envelope as hard as we can right now.
Such a great weapon to have. Like, I just remember watching some of those Georgia teams from the last few years, and I think Bama at one point had it, but Georgia really stuck with me when they went through that kind of Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter wave of bodies on the defensive line. You could just see how it just wore out an offensive unit throughout the game. And so hopefully Ohio State can get to that point, because there's one thing to have depth, but there's also one thing to have good depth, right? You can just throw bodies out there. Right. They're going to be guys that can make an impact. That's yet to be seen with this year's team, and I think that's exciting.
But this time a year ago, how much had Caden McDonald played? You know, Edric Houston was a freshman. He got shifted to defensive tackle, and by anybody's account, obviously he had the setback in preseason camp when he got hurt in the first day, or really more scared than hurt, but definitely hurt a little bit. But now he's come on. But everybody sees a diamond in the rough right there. Many of them being in the rough. He's been cut a little bit. You can see the diamond emerging. But yeah, everybody. It's kind of like you're taking. It's kind of like the equivalent of taking swimming lessons, but you haven't been in the pool yet. You're taking them on the side, learning the strokes, now you got to go in there with water, jeopardy. How are you going to swim when you're in jeopardy? Yep. And like Will Smith Jr. is a great example of a guy. You have to wait on some fellas to just blossom. Mm-hmm. Will Smith Jr. looks the part of a defensive tackle, even though he's the son of a defensive end. If you follow my drift there, he seems pretty tough, pretty hard-nosed. He calls himself slippery. He says others call him slippery. We'll see how that goes. He's got a great first step, like he said, that he inherited from his dad. When I asked him that yesterday, what's one of these things you see in your game that your dad had when you watched video? And he goes, the first step. I mean, getting your position, man, in the battle. And all these guys haven't played. Tywone Malone is a guy, he's got to do it now, or when you going to do it? He's a transfer from Ole Miss from a couple of years ago and stuff. And he definitely looks the part. Jason Moore looks the part right on down the line. And, it's how can you talk about, like Larry's kind of saying, they've got depth. They think they've got quality fellas to play, but you haven't seen them play enough to make, to call them proven. But the depth, just like Ryan Day said, there's talent on this football team. Yeah. But until they prove it on the field in one of the great openers of all time, you can't call them proven.
And who are going to be the guys when it's money down and a critical third down throughout the game, to where Larry Johnson's saying, hey, I have to have these 3 or 4 guys on that D-line. Last year we knew, hey, in critical moments, you better have Jack, JT, and Tyleek out there on the field.
But Caden McDonald became one of those guys.
He was absolutely one of those guys, too, along the way. So who steps up and grabs a hold of that role? You touched on Tywone Malone and how he's a guy that's been around for a little bit, right? And he's been waiting his time to make an impact. I think a similar thing could be said when it comes to C.J. Hicks. And here's Larry Johnson on C.J.
I think the growth is starting to happen. It's really just understanding the position and what it takes. He can't be a third down guy. He's got to be able to play first and second down. And so I think that's the biggest growth. And playing on the line of scrimmage, playing to get big tackles and big tight end. I mean, that's a transformation of how to do that. But he's doing a great job of moving forward. So we just got to keep pushing forward.
When was the last guy in your group that you think maybe had the twitch that C.J. does off the edge? Is there
there a comparison?
Not really. Not really a comparison. But you're talking about two different styles of body, right? Opposed to a 6'5" guy, and Chase Young had that twitch, but he was 6'5". CJ's 6 feet, 243, just a different kind of speed. We got to find a way to use that speed in the right situation.
It sounds like to me he wants his game to grow outside of just being a situational pass rusher.
Well, you got to. I was talking to him about. I'm talking about CJ. I was asking him questions about that yesterday. Is the ability to? He thinks he sees the field really well. He's a former linebacker. And now I think they've got him in exactly the right spot. But to be a first and second down guy, you can't be bamboozled. You can't be fooled because you still got to cover the run. I mean, you can't be impulsive, I guess is the word. You want to be quick, but not impulsive. Not be fooled by someone showing you this and doing the other thing. And being a little more disciplined may be the right term. Maybe, I think the term I would use would be more consistent, because that's the term that James Laurinaitis used about him a year ago, is can he get more consistent and put him out there and trust. Trust is a weird word. We're not talking about trusting a guy with gold. We're talking about trusting a guy to make the correct reads before he goes and does his thing, but C.J. Hicks, anybody can see the potential there if he just crosses that Rubicon, so to speak, and becomes that sort of full down, because I'm telling you, he is a Micah Parsons kind of guy that can create. I'm not saying he's like him, just like him. He's a Micah Parsons kind of guy that can create havoc. Especially on third down, because he is very quick. He likes to go and hit the quarterback if he can. Those guys still don't grow on trees, man. I mean, you got to go find those guys. That's why, man, it's really interesting. I don't know if you're going to talk about Bo Atkinson, but I think they hit another home run in the transfer portal. You got to give it up to Mark Pantoni and that group about finding almost the exact right guys in the portal. Not just bringing in anybody. Bo Atkinson is that guy for the transfer from North Carolina. He's not the same guy. He's a big guy. Yeah. He made plays at the end of the year last year for North Carolina, went through spring with them and didn't really, decided he's going to test his wares as high as he could test them and not necessarily be coached by Bill Belichick.
No doubt. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. Top of the hour, we'll have an update for you in the deep dive today. Tim May is going to lay out his top 5 most exciting things that he thinks are happening or are on deck for the college football season. What's Tim May excited about when it comes to college football? Don't move. That's next, right here on The Fan.
Here's a quick 10-second reminder that the Buckeyes have won the Natty. Also, we air all the games, and we always will. Thank you. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
My name is Andre Roberts, and I'm a defender for the Ohio State men's soccer team. When I was in 7th grade, I fractured my kneecap. That was my first experience with Orthopedic One. My physician came in the room and delivered the diagnosis, and with the confidence that he had, it reassured me that I would be okay. And they definitely did a good job of knowing as a soccer player when I needed confidence, when I needed to be pushed, and they got me right back to where I was before my injury. Orthopedic One understood what it means to be a soccer player.
The summer event is still on at Germain Honda of Dublin, and the deals are hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for just $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or drive home in the new 25 Honda Prologue EX. Lease it now for only $149 a month, or 0% APR, plus no payments for 90 days. Get the deal you deserve at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. If you are retired or in the planning stages, we can help you maximize your income. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Stay hydrated. It's hot out there. So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Get too hot?
My phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We now know what the punishments are for the Michigan sign stealing scandal. They include a loss of postseason revenue the next 2 seasons, which could be in upwards of $20 million. A 1-game suspension added to head coach Sharon Moore's already self-imposed 2-game ban, a 10-year show cause for Jim Harbaugh, an 8-year show cause for Connor Stallions, and the program will be on probation for 4 years. The Cincinnati Reds starting a home series with the Milwaukee Brewers at 6:40 this evening. Pre-game coverage on ESPN Columbus gets underway at 6:10. The Cleveland Guardians welcoming the Atlanta Braves to Progressive Field tonight at 7:10. And the Columbus Blue Jackets have signed restricted free agent defenseman Damon Hunt to a 1-year, 2-way deal. 3D Cabinetry is your go-to for fast, hassle-free service from order to install with fully assembled, all-wood, affordable cabinets. Get your free consultation at 3dcabinetry.net.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, welcome back in. Happy Friday to you. Matty Ice, TLC, and the great Tim May in the building today. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk all things Major League Baseball with Jensen Lewis in our 10 Music segment. Tim A, by the way, love the polo today. For the folks that are watching on YouTube, I don't know if you can see, the script of exactly what it is, but that is a flex right there. That is a U.S. Open Pinehurst polo from my man Tim May. That looks good.
You get 2 of those when you sign up to be a volunteer. You get 2 of those.
Oh,
and
really?
A quarter zip and a jacket and a cap.
Well, that's worth
pretty
it.
nice. And a water bottle, big time water bottle. So that's what you get.
When did you volunteer?
I've done the last 4 U.S. Opens.
Interesting.
I'm doing at least next year, Shinnecock Hills. I'm already set for that and stuff, and then we'll see where it goes. But I love golf. As I was just watching the Common Man and Timmy, or whatever he calls him, Tim Hall, practice their putting in there as they prepare for their show. Yeah. I just love golf. I don't make any just like I like F1 and Formula One and IndyCar. I don't make any apologies for liking something.
You mentioned F1. I'm not a racing guy. Never been a racing guy. But I went to see the movie with Brad Pitt.
Yep.
Tremendous stuff there. I thought the movie was really good. You're a big racing guy, so maybe some things jumped out to you that weren't as clean as they should be. But I'll tell you this, Tim May. I walked away from that movie impressed, and then I went home and started the F1 Netflix series, which was cool, man. Just jumping into that world is fascinating with the money that goes into it and how competitive it is within even each team. With two drivers trying to accomplish the same thing.
Yeah, the F1 Netflix series is gold for them because some of the stuff is definitely exacerbated on some of the drama, as Max Verstappen will say. Max Verstappen tries to stay out of all of it. You know, he tries not to be part of that. But the bottom line is those cars are so ridiculous. Like I've always told people, people talk about the speed and how fast they slow down, how fast they brake is numbing. How fast they can go slow, as opposed to also how quickly they can go fast. But the only thing that I didn't like about it was when he was knocking people, causing, for want of another term, cautions. After the second one, he'd have been off the track. They would have black flagged him. That would have not have happened. This isn't football. Yeah. But the way he set the fellow up to win the race, and then that guy blows it. I think it was at Monza. But the bottom line is, I thought it gave people more of a little bit of a feel for what those cars are like and what the competition is like. What I didn't like is just like the first Top Gun movie, which is, by the way, on my take movies to a desert island is probably my first pick because I love aviation. Is they rammed a love story into the middle of it.
Gotta have love.
Just stick to the but the racing action. I'm telling you, they're gonna. I think they regret that because they could have had more racing action and stuff. Because I think that's what really got people going. Not him falling in love with an aerodynamicist. I mean, give me a break.
I enjoyed it. Hey, man,
they wouldn't even let that part of the movie. Christian Horner, one of the things he was investigated about from Red Bull, he got fired from Red Bull about 4 weeks ago. The last 20 years had built Red Bull into that formidable thing. Was an in-house problem that he had, but he was cleared of. But then all of a sudden he's gone, when another group bought a little bit more ownership into that team. So, it's a little bit more than you probably wanted to even talk about. But the bottom line is, man, the racing is good enough, man. Don't give me the fake love story.
It's a good movie, though. I thought Brad Pitt and Jensen did
movie was great.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
And people go, Brad Pitt's too old. I go, Fernando Alonso is still out there doing it, man. At a high level, so is Lewis Hamilton. They're in their 40s. So it's very feasible that a guy could come back and drive a car like that.
I agree. Tim May, when you and I wake up tomorrow, and everybody wakes up tomorrow, we will be exactly 1 week from the college football season kicking off. Week 0 is next Saturday, the 23rd. So we are almost home, ladies and gentlemen. So I threw this by you. You walked in and I said, Tim, you have an assignment today. You only got one assignment.
Yeah.
For the show.
I never do my homework. I never do my homework. I've done that like since 4th grade.
I never did it either. I'm with you on that. But I said, Tim, I want you to list a few things that you're really excited about going into the 2025 college football season. So the floor is yours. What is on your mind, sir, when it comes to this wonderful sport?
Well, I don't know if excited about's the correct term, but the Big Ten has to figure out a way to make people understand that the middle of the Big Ten is pretty damn good too. Everybody thinks the Big Ten is Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, just won the national championship 2 years ago. We'll see where they go now, and Penn State. Mm-hmm. And don't give as much credence to the middle of the pack in the Big Ten as the SEC does, because the SEC is always out there beating its chest about how good it is.
It's in there. It's one of their sayings. It just means more.
Their commissioner leads the way, Greg Sankey, and then all the coaches pick up on it. Look how good we are. And like I said a while ago, when watching that SEC thing on Netflix, what stood out to me the most, and it stood out to me last year as I watched the SEC, was how lack of big-time defenses that whole league had last year compared to maybe years earlier and stuff. So that's one thing is like I'm interested to see if the middle of the Big Ten can get some shrift. My friend Kings of the North, Doug Maurice and Bill Landis try to provide that on their podcast and stuff. And I'm not sure how successful it is one way or the other, but the Big Ten is a quality product, fella.
It is. I agree with you and Bill and Doug. Those guys do great work over there. And, I think, to your point, two coaches and programs that can help with the perception of the depth of the Big Ten is a program we talked about earlier.
Right.
And USC and Lincoln Riley.
Right.
And it's also, to me, Luke Fickell in Wisconsin.
Yep.
And what they can do this year. Yep. Because, man.
They play at Alabama,
They did. They had last year, I think in that game is when they lost their quarterback. I think in that Alabama game, they lost their starting quarterback, and that went south.
Transfer
quickly.
from Miami.
But Fick, man, what he built at Cincinnati was awesome, right?
Yeah. Dude, this ain't. Excuse me, this is not.
You can say we like.
This is not. This is not even the Big 12. This is not the whatever
the Big 10.
What were they in? The AAC or whatever it was.
I believe it was at the time. I'm just talking about as a program builder.
As Greg Schiano has proven, you can make a program a lot better, and it still not totally show up in the one-loss column. Mm-hmm. And Rutgers is so much better than it was 5 years ago. It's stupid how much better they are, how much more competent it is. But to show that in one-loss records is very difficult because I'm telling you, the middle of the pack is definitely a piranha pit. And so that's what, like you just pointed out. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward from another standpoint of who becomes that quarterback at Ohio State. Everybody thinks it's going to be Julian Sayin. The odds makers say it's going to be Julian Sayin. I think it makes sense to be Julian Sayin only because I do believe, push come to shove, he is the better passer of the two, him and Lincoln Keenos, even though Lincoln Keenos has improved dramatically over 3 years in that regard, because you want to establish the run game with those running backs, and that offensive line could be really good for Ohio State this year, maybe better than last year.
You got to play to your strengths, though.
But you've got to have that guy in the pocket or wherever he ends up throwing the ball, who is your best thrower, because you've got weapons that you need to take advantage of on a consistent basis. And so I'm looking forward to that, to see the rise of Julian Sayin. I've had his high school coach on the Tim May show a few times. I really like him. And but just what he sees in Julian, he goes, people haven't really seen him yet, just what a competitor he is, but also what a playmaker he can be under duress.
Yeah, that's big time stuff.
Thad McNeil's the guy's name.
So make sure you check out the Tim May podcast.
Well, you can just look that up. Yeah,
just do what you do, right? I got you, man.
Do I need to do another one now?
Do it again if you want.
Yeah. Is Kalen DeBoer the right guy for Alabama? I guess that's not really looking forward to it. I mean, my baby brother lives and dies. My baby brother, who I like to say, who was 68, lives and dies Alabama football. Does Kalen DeBoer, now that he's been there for a second year, does he have the quarterback to run his offense? Because Jalen Milroe was not the guy.
No.
Speaking of a guy who was drafted before Shedeur Sanders, who probably shouldn't have been, that's one of them.
I agree with that.
That's more like putting pressure on somebody than something I'm excited to see.
I completely agree because it's one of the.
But if Alabama's back, because Alabama wasn't back. I mean, Alabama took a real back.
They lost 4 games last year. Yeah,
they lost at Oklahoma, brother.
Yeah, it was tough.
They got the hell beat out of them at Oklahoma.
Right.
I like saying hell sometimes.
No, it's all good, man.
But are they back? Do they have a defense that can take them places? Much less their offense. That remains to be seen.
The offense, Kalen DeBoer, we know when he was at Washington, it was arguably the most entertaining offense to watch, right, on any given Saturday with Penix and Adunze and all of those type of guys.
Michael Penix Jr.
He had the guy, right? He had the guy, he had a first-round talent.
Do never discount the combo of head coach and quarterback. The other, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people in the world maybe that likes Brian Kelly. I'm excited to see if they can get it done with a definitely maybe the most experienced quarterback in the country in Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Whether they can get it done, or is he a big tease also? Nussmeier, of getting you almost there but not being able to take you over.
Had to wait his time, right? Had Jaden Daniels down there for a little bit, and obviously we've seen what Jaden's done in the NFL in his last year at LSU, you can understand why he had to wait his time. But just
they didn't have defense then, man.
Going back to Alabama real quick, because I love that you brought them up. He brought back his old offensive coordinator in Ryan Grubb, that being Kalen DeBoer. How much of an impact will that make? We shall see, because I love what you brought up about what Washington was at the time.
You got to have the trigger man,
You got to have that guy. And Ty Simpson, they just named their starting quarterback. We'll see what the skill set looks like. But Kalen DeBoer, when you sign up for that gig, whether it's Georgia, Ohio State, or Bama, there are just certain expectations that are sky high.
Correct.
I don't think he needs to be there in year 2.
Right.
But you shave off a couple of those losses that you had last year, and I think that'll make them
the Vanderbilt game will stick in people's craw forever. Yeah. But Michael Penix Jr., I voted, he was my choice for the Heisman Trophy.
Don't blame you.
He was my top of my top 3 because I just think he had a tremendous year and lifted a program just by his daring do and occasionally just ridiculous passes.
Electric arm. Powerful arm,
but accurate.
We'll get to see
left-handers, man. When a left-hander's really got it going,
it's different.
I don't think there's anything better than watching a left-hander play quarterback.
Coming up in pre-snap reads, there's one quarterback in the NFL that is feeling really, really good about a former Buckeye. You'll hear from him next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Keep your summer fun going at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now through September 2nd, get 1.99 APR financing on a powerful new 25 Tundra or $3,000 customer cash. Excludes TRD Pro. Or you can lease a new well-equipped 25 Tundra SR Crew Max for just $419 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. When we say we want to lose weight, we mean fat, not muscle. New studies show up to 40% of the weight lost on the new meds is muscle, not fat. Keep your muscle. Lose the fat with Awaken 180. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Spend Labor Day weekend at Great American Ballpark. Cheer on the Reds when they face the Cardinals in a 3-game set August 29th through the 31st. Enjoy a fantastic post-game fireworks show on Friday presented by Toyota. Saturday, fans in attendance will receive a Hunter Green bobblehead featuring the Reds ace with his French Bulldog Ross, thanks to Tri-Health while supplies last. Bring the whole crew on Sunday and enjoy some afternoon baseball. Visit Reds.com/tickets today.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I've got a public service announcement for your taste buds. The legendary Sanders Bumpy Cake is finally here in Ohio. Yes, that Sanders Chocolate Fudge Bumpy Cake. Rich devil's food cake topped with smooth buttercream bumps and smothered in thick chocolatey fudge. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's the dessert you didn't know you needed until now. Perfect for your next barbecue, tailgate, or a family function. And if you've never had one of these, well, trust me, once you try it, you're going to be hooked. Grab your Sanders Bumpy Cake today at Kroger or Meijer and taste what the hype's all about.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday mornings starting at 6 or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, you might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Happy Friday, everyone. We made it. We'll see temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s across central Ohio with plenty of sunshine. And then for tonight, temperatures right around 70 with mostly clear skies. We'll kick off the weekend on Saturday with a little bit more humidity and a little bit warmer. Plenty of sun and highs in the low 90s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman Ice present Free Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, welcome back in. Tim May, let's real quick, before we get into some sound, one of the mysteries around the NFL draft was outside of, what's Cleveland going to do prior to them making the trade with Jacksonville? How many quarterbacks do we get in the first round? Like all those discussions. Shador, is he going to New Orleans?
Yeah.
Like, where's he going to go? Like all that.
By the way, how many rookie quarterbacks have ever won the Super Bowl?
How many rookie quarterbacks have ever won the Super Bowl?
I think isn't the answer 0?
That's where my mind went, but I'm trying to just think. I don't think anybody. Big Ben, when he won it, was not a rookie, right?
I think the answer is 0. Maybe I'm wrong. Go ahead now.
It's a great question.
I just wanted to point that out because usually
he was year 2.
Usually when you get drafted high as a quarterback, you're going to a team that needs a lot more than you. Go ahead.
As a rookie QB won a Super Bowl, AI overview on Google says no.
Yeah, there you go.
Think about how much easier school would have been with
I've
AI.
watched every Super Bowl. I'm one of the few people that can say that.
Every single one?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even the Super Bowl back when they first started. I mean, the Green Bay Packers versus Kansas City, and then the Packers versus Oakland. And
has a rookie ever quarterbacked a Super Bowl? Because Jaden Daniels, I guess, would have been the closest. I mean, he's one example. Big Ben was an example because they went 15-1 his rookie year.
I'm trying to think.
They played in the AFC Championship.
Was Marino a rookie or a second? Yeah, I think Marino might have been a second-year guy.
No, you might be right. Marino's rookie year.
And he thought he'd be back, and he never played in another Super Bowl.
I think that was his rookie year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But,
Dan Marino, man. Whew.
Special talent. Special arm talent.
Yeah.
Right there. That is for sure. But just one of the mysteries going into the draft outside of the stuff we just talked about was what's going on with Josh Simmons? How healthy is he?
Yeah.
Where is he going to go? Like a lot of people that cover the draft and really rank all the prospects going into drafts every year, some people you see, Tim, had him as their number one tackle on the board.
Yeah.
And just maybe there wasn't a whole bunch of conviction for people because of the injury. Well, that worked out for the Kansas City Chiefs because he slides all the way down to them. And from the sounds of it, man, they've fallen in love with the guy. And now here's Pat Mahomes talking about Josh Simmons throughout training camp and what he's seen from him so far.
I mean, he's just a dog at the end of the day. I mean, he's obviously working through like being an NFL pro and being a veteran, but when it comes to just pass blocking and run blocking, he can get the job done, and that's where it all starts off at. And so he's getting tested out here by Spags and the defensive line that we have. But I don't know if there was one moment. I think it's just you hear the defensive guys talk about him, and they all are saying the right things when you want a guy that's going to go out there and contribute. And so the sky is the limit. I mean, he has a chance to be one of the best there is at that left tackle position, but he's got to go out there and prove that in the regular season.
one of the best there is. Now, that could be just teammate on teammate gas right there, hyping up his guy, right, filling up his gas tank there. But I don't think Pat Mahomes is just blowing smoke, because he's not the only guy that has said similar things about the impact Josh Simmons is already making out there in Kansas City. So this should be a very, very scary thing. If you are a fan of the Ravens, Bengals, Bills, anybody on the AFC side of things, that the Chiefs have potentially found their franchise tackle of the future.
Oh, Ohio State won the national championship without him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just shows you what a job Justin Fry and that offensive line room. And they won it without Seth McLaughlin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Won the Remington Trophy last year.
Correct. I mean, that just shows you what that offensive line did. And my point is, the reason you like Simmons more than anything else, watch his feet. He has great feet. And that sets the good away, the great away from the off from the good when it comes to offensive tackles. What are you laughing at? What's he laughing about?
He's just over there. He hears everything that we say. So when he hears something we say that can turn into a new drop, he gets pretty excited. I think that's what happened.
He's got great feet, Josh Simmons. Put that on Jimmy, as they called him to begin with.
I've heard the term, I think, in the past. I don't know who coined the phrase, but a dancing bear.
Yeah.
Like for offensive linemen that have the feet that you're talking about.
They're rare, man. They're just like I said, the rarest find in football is a big-time, big-bodied A-gap stuffer and get after it dude in the middle. Caden McDonald, by the way, feels really good about himself physically. He's lost a little bit of weight, but it's more like he's transformed into much more fit, muscular dude. I'm telling you, Caden McDonald is primed, man, to be a force there in the middle of the line for Ohio State. Defensively, but Josh Simmons, those guys are the big guys who can move and are fast and are strong and are willing to work. They're rare. They're still rare.
I agree, and they're
harder to find, in my opinion, than quarterbacks. No, without a doubt.
A franchise left tackle.
Orlando Pace. How many Orlando Paces have you seen come through Ohio State?
Haven't been a ton of them.
How many national championship quarterbacks have you seen come through Ohio State?
A few. Been a few of those.
And I'll stand by that. But the A-gap guy is the real guy that doesn't come around very often.
Yeah, because if you can create pressure right in the face of an a quarterback.
Now you're getting it.
No matter.
Make the pocket move. No matter if that guy can scramble, okay, well, make him scramble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and then in the run game, make them put two guys on you. Yeah. And it changes everything for the linebacker, right on down the line. But back to Josh Simmons, I mean, I was a little surprised by the furor going on around him as the season began last year, because I still thought he was a project.
Yeah.
Obviously
in progress.
Yeah, came over from San Diego State the previous year and stuff. Interesting background because he showed up because Justin Fry was around, and but yeah, when you watched him move and stuff, I mean, there's no doubt about what they see in him.
And it was an absolute.
You got to win that one-on-one battle in the NFL, man.
Right. That's it. Especially when we're talking about these premier pass rushers like the Myles Garretts of the world and all these guys that are.
And what Ohio State has gotten really good at teaching their offensive linemen is carried over now in the new regime is using your hands as in fisticuffs. You're more like you're in a fight than you are blocking.
Yeah, deliver that
anymore.
blow.
Deliver the blows.
Yeah, 100%. And you watched that Super Bowl, we all did. Kansas City got whooped up front by that Philadelphia defensive line, and so they had to have it because they took Joe Tooney, who was a great guard for them, and they had to slide him out the left tackle.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, we saw Ohio State, who had a great guard. Donovan Jackson.
Worked out for Ohio State.
Worked out a lot better. Worked out a lot better than it did.
There's the guy I got my eye on. I think that guy's a 15-year pro, at least 10-year pro.
Donovan
barring
Jackson.
Injury. Oh, yeah. He's just a solid player, and he's a really solid human being.
They added a bunch of depth, that being the Minnesota Vikings, to their offensive line room this year. So there's a couple vets in front of him maybe right now, or maybe he can carve out a role. But I think that just did so many good things for Donovan.
They're not getting rid of him, though.
His versatility, right, now that you put that out there on tape. And it wasn't just, hey, I'm sliding out the left tackle against, Akron and Bowling Green, right, and playing well. This is
slid out there against Penn State.
There you go.
Abdul Carter.
And then down the stretch, in the postseason, you're talking about seeing some dudes as well, right? Tennessee had James Pierce. Texas had Colin Simmons, who we'll see again here in a few weeks.
What's the Moore Award for Best Offensive Line? The last 4
Yeah, Joe Moore.
Joe Moore Award. for offensive line. There was no doubt about what that was at the last 4 games of the season.
Yeah, no doubt. It was Ohio State. Those are your pre-snap reads for today. If you're looking for a new vehicle, get on up to Marion. Go to McDaniel GM Superstore. I was just there a couple of months ago. Walked in. Couple hours later, drove out of there with a new vehicle, and the team treated me like family, and they will do the exact same thing for you. It's not a long drive to Marion, so get on up there. They have a 2025 Silverado HD right now where you can get 3.9% APR for qualified buyers. They believe in nothing but transparency with every car deal that they do. They've got over 180 new vehicles on their website right now. Again, it's McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Coming up in 2 minutes, Guardians, Reds, right there in the mix in the wild card race in baseball. We'll talk to Jensen Lewis about all that in a couple minutes right here on The Fan.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, flexible payment plans. Act now. Visit BlueJackets.com/tickets.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Cash for Clunkers continues during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for Clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HRV 2-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic 4-door LX for just $299 a month. 0 cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers, and you want to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Crowd the plate at your own risk. It's time for some chin music with former big leaguer and president of the Bald is Beautiful fan club, Jensen Lewis.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, welcome back in. The bullpen door is open, and here he comes to give us some tremendous innings as he did in the big leagues and as he always does every single week. On Fridays right here on Rothman and Ice. J. Lou, welcome in, my man. How you feeling?
Oh, boy. I tell you, slap on the wrist for Michigan. They get away with murder, and then add some insult to injury for you, my friend. The news just coming out about Jace Burns, and not exactly the Friday we were looking for.
I hear you, big dog. I definitely hear you on that. But look, not all bad news down there in Cincinnati. The Chase Burns news stinks, but the team itself right now hanging around, making it interesting right now for us Reds fans. Big series on deck with Milwaukee, but half a game back, from that last wild card spot in the NL. Redlegs doing some good things, J. Lou.
Yep, they are. And you mentioned a showdown series tonight. It does sound like it's going to be Jacob Misiorowski for the Brewers tonight, maybe in an abbreviated capacity. We'll kind of see what Pat Murphy and company want to do with his workload and pitch count. But as you said, also this stretch where they're going to have to go out to the West Coast, take on an Angels team that, hey, still chipping a chair right now, 5 games back of the Yankees for that final wild card spot in the American League. And then, of course, an Arizona Diamondback team that really did sell a lot of their key pieces, yet here they are, just 4.5 games behind the Mets. So it is very tight for not only the wild card races, but some division races as well.
Hey, Jensen, Tim May, by the way, I miss you on those 6 a.m. shows we did a few times, man. I wanted to ask you this. What, in your mind, comes right with a team that is in a lull and then all of a sudden gets their act together? Because it's not like in football where you run plays, you just run plays a little bit better, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're blocking the guys up front instead of letting somebody through and stuff. But what would you put your finger on with both of these teams, especially the Guardians, from where they've come, from where they were, a few weeks ago? What is really popping there?
Well, first of all, great to hear your voice again, buddy. I'm excited many weeks coming up here to hear it as well. Okay, the first thing for the Reds, and Maddie and AR and I have talked about this for probably the last month or so. Like, this offense is really well equipped to be able to really out-hit maybe some inconsistencies with the pitching. And, to their credit, the Reds have gotten outstanding starting pitching here for most of the season when those guys have been healthy. On paper, I never thought in my wildest dreams, Tim, that this Guardians team would put up series win after series win after losing 10-0, because you look at the season-long statistics, it makes no sense. It is one of the great anomalies of where we are in the season. But to kind of roundaboutly put a bow on your question, this is the beauty of our game. There's just lulls where sometimes you're just hitting the ball right on the screws and it's right at people, and then you're getting sawed off hitting 55-footers that, find a hole there, and it's just unexplainable. But that's why you just try and stay as even keel as possible. And I credit both clubs for being able to do it, because they've both dealt with their fair share of adversity, and for both of them, respectively, to be just a half game each out of a playoff spot. Yeah. I mean, that's a credit to them.
J. Lou, when it comes to the Guardians, we've talked for the last few years about where's the pop going to come from? Where are the timely home runs going to come from, right? When you're going up against the Yankees and the Houstons of the world. One guy right now for Cleveland that's providing some of that spark and pop is Kyle Manzardo. Really found his stroke there in the box and really hitting some dingers, it feels like, at a time where they really need it.
Earth-shattering stuff here, guys. You put one of your best players in the lineup every single day, good things will happen. I know, really reinventing the wheel here. But I always marveled, Matty, at these hitters that, I only want him to face righties. Like, you come up through the minor leagues, the way you earn your way to the big leagues is to show as a position player from the hitting side you can hit elite lefties and righties, and that's how you get the opportunity to show you can not only be a really impactful player, but the potential to be one of those cornerstones moving forward. And so much was made about him coming over from Tampa and what a steal it was getting him for Aaron Savali. And you go out and you hit a couple of bombs and he finds himself on the bench. I'm like, Voter, let's go, dude. If the laptop gang is getting to you up top, just kind of be like, hey, listen, I played. I know what it's like. I want to ride the highs with a couple of these guys. So good to see Manzo doing it. And more importantly, Matty, getting an opportunity day in and day out.
Hey, Jensen, you just walked into my casino, and I'm glad to have you. And you're headed for the sports book, right? And I just gave you a $10,000 chip, a special chip, because I like your business. I like the people you bring in when you show up and stuff. But my stipulation is you have to put your $10,000 chip on either the Indians or the Yankees to make the playoff, to get that third playoff spot in wild card. Which one? Who are you? I know you have to almost go with the Guardians. Did I say Indians? I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. They'll always be the Indians.
I'm sure there's a fine involved, but for 65 years of my life, they were the Indians. But the Guardians, where's that chip going?
Yeah, I think I would still lean with where the Yankees are at this point, and I'll tell you why. I just feel that this group has a bit more in the tank offensively. When they're going right, I would take the Yankee offense probably day in and day out over what the Guardians can run. There is just not enough length, I think, for a Guardian lineup to overcome the eventual stiff starting pitching they're going to face down the stretch here. So as much as and if I had an option to not bet either of those teams, I would not. But if you're making me choose one, I'll go with the Yankees.
I don't know, and we're talking all things Major League Baseball with Jensen Lewis right here on the Fan. J-Lou, I don't know if anybody prior to the season starting had the Toronto Blue Jays as one of the powerhouses in the AL on their bingo card. How did we get to this point? What do they have cooking up there in Canada right now?
Well, first and foremost, this is a team that has their stars rolling, right? Vladdy Jr. has been one of the best position players overall this season. Bo Bichette is leading the league in hits, and boy, what a time to do that with his impending free agency after this season. So that's kind of where I start. As you look overall for the body of work here, Toronto is 7th as far as runs scored this year. But, guys, if you get to the Midsummer Classic and from the second half on, only the Milwaukee Brewers have scored more runs than the Toronto Blue Jays. So that's a big reason why they have ascended to the top. Food for thought, guys, the Yankees led the American League East by 7.5 games at the beginning of July. And now look where they are, 6.5 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays. It's really mind-boggling, too, to think about that. 14-game swing here from a former division leader to where we are. Toronto is going to have an embarrassment of riches here to choose from as far as their starters. They are going to get Shane Bieber here pretty soon after they made the trade with Cleveland at the deadline. Max Scherzer has turned back the clock. Guys, he might be in his early 40s, but he's pitching like he knows that this could be it. He wants to leave nothing in the tank. And then they've had a really nice trio of Barrios, Kevin Gausman, and Chris Bassett. So they're pretty deep there. Can the back end of their bullpen, which they bolstered at the deadline too, can they stand up through thick and thin here? Anxious to see. But yeah, Maddie, to answer your question, the Blue Jays, one of the preeminent favorites here, especially on the American League side.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, with the Guardians, I mean, bottom line is put the ball in play and see what happens, right? Yep. I mean, get your bat on the ball and stuff. How would you explain the Yankee slide, Jensen, in a nutshell? Because that's the thing about baseball. It's always driven me crazy. Some things just don't kind of make sense, but you're watching it with your own eyes happen.
Yeah, they've been league average, Tim, as far as offense is concerned. And, of course, when you lose Aaron Judge, and it wasn't a long time, but you guys can kind of tell the difference in attack from opposing pitching staffs when you don't have to deal with, the front runner for the American League MVP. That being said, I think it's the back end of their bullpen, and I credit Brian Cashman because he did exactly what I would have done, is go out and get 3 real premium arms and 2 just in Bednar and Camilo Duvall, both closers respectively for Pittsburgh and San Francisco, and you kind of looked at it and said, all right, well, they can kind of make it a 5-inning game at this point. So that's what I still have trepidation with, guys, as a reliever. It's not guaranteed day in and day out, but they have got to get on a roll here if they're going to be a factor in the postseason.
J-Lou, I'm excited because Tim May told me earlier he's going to allow me to take his private jet out to Cali tonight to get to this Padres and Dodgers series.
I'm going to surprise him. I'm going to be in a pilot's seat, though. So.
Okay, that's a little scary.
Everything comes with risk. Everything comes with the risk.
It's a little scary for me, but Padres, Dodgers, 2 rivals. They don't like each other. Star power all over the place. Future Hall of Famers all over the place. J-Lou, just kind of preview this series for us. A little late night action for us here on the East Coast, but a fun one on deck out there in Cali.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of October feel at Chavez Ravine tonight. A couple of storylines. First, Michael King is going back on the IL, and just one start off of it for the Padre rotation. That's a real tough blow for them. So I don't even think they've announced a starter yet tonight, but you're still looking at a Padre team that leads Major League Baseball in team ERA since the All-Star break. Dodgers have been pretty good, too. They're 7th, but their offense has been really inconsistent here in the second half. So I'm anxious to see what Clayton Kershaw does against a Padre team where several of those guys, Fernando Tatis Jr., if you're looking for a player prop, that's where I would go against Kershaw. He's owned him in his career. Guys, we're going to do this dance all over again next week. So tonight, 3-game set starts in Chavez Ravine, and then a week from tonight, we do it all over again in San Diego at Petco Park. So the West could certainly be won or go a long way to deciding the winner with whoever ends up winning both these series.
It's going to be fun. No doubt about it. J-Lou, as always, my man, we appreciate your time and looking forward to talking to you next week.
Anytime, boys. Timmy, keep it hot, baby. You never know.
You got it,
get
man.
back on the horn. All right.
There you go. Jensen Lewis was joining us right here on The Fan. We will hit the finish line of the show and week next with Tell the Truth. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
This is your daily reminder that Michigan sucks, and they're a bunch of cheating-ass cheaters. I'll be back tomorrow to say it again. The Fan.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Leaky pipes, no hot water, issues with your sewer or drains? When plumbing problems strike, Logan Services is ready to help you out. We offer free estimates on water heaters, water softeners, and drain lines. Whether it's a surprise leak or an aging water tank, we'll give you an honest recommendation so you can take action fast. Don't wait. Schedule your free plumbing estimate now. Fast, friendly service you trust from Logan Services.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Check out this great deal on fresh grapes. Red, green, or black seedless grapes are only $1.77 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Join the fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show. And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State, yes it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
A legendary story from Frank Robinson's career on this August 15th back in 1960. On this date in the first game of a doubleheader at Crosley Field, Robinson slid hard into third base, colliding with the Braves' Eddie Matthews. And Matthews came up swinging, and Robbie got the worst of it with a bloody nose and an eye almost swollen shut. But Frank came right back in Game 2, hitting a home run and a double, leading the Reds to a 4-0 win. And he robbed Matthews of a hit with a spectacular running catch. Many of his teammates today still reference this game as a testament to Frank's hard-nosed play. All a part of Frank Robinson's Hall of Fame legacy. That August 15th, 1960, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems in Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Get 50% off all window styles, plus no interest until 2030. Visit windownation.com now.
All right, TLC, take us home, big dog. What do you got cooking up today, and tell the truth?
All right, first of all, I have to correct myself because I incorrectly confirmed Tim May that Dan Marino made it to the Super Bowl in his rookie year. It was actually his second year, because in his rookie year, he did not begin the season as the starting quarterback, did one of those things, came in after a few games, whatever. Went 7-2 in the final 9 games that he started. So
I was trying to flip through my Rolodex of a memory Rolodex of a memory that has cards missing. You know what I mean? But I knew he was very young, and he thought he'd be back there another 10 times and never got another shot.
Speaking of Dan Marino, I've had the pleasure of being able to talk to some cool people doing this job. It's been awesome, right?
Yeah.
Up there, very, very high on the list is one Dan Marino. We were at the Super Bowl in Vegas last year.
By the way, is that Archie pulling that bell? Archie Griffin?
That's the Undertaker. The Undertaker works for us.
Well, I know, but Archie's going to pull the bell.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
Which I
victory
think
bell
is pretty cool.
Going into the season.
I'm here for it.
I just want to make sure we didn't have an honorary bell puller.
No, it's the Undertaker.
Okay.
We hired him to do that. But no, I was just going to say, we sat down, AR and I did 2 years ago at Vegas, and he was, doing some stuff with M&Ms, and it was just, as I was interviewing him, I just caught myself thinking, like, this is Dan Marino, right? And he was just such a nice guy, man.
I was out there. I was out there at the same time as you guys were. I'm just hanging out in Vegas.
Oh, I didn't see
me and my buddy Jeff Snook.
Okay.
We go out there basically every Super Bowl week because it's cool. We just have to be there when the game was there too.
Oh, okay, so you guys do Vegas every February?
Yeah, we've done that for like 4 years in a row or whatever. But it's just fun to be out there because there's an energy during a Super Bowl week that's not necessarily always there. But I didn't mean to digress in that regard. It sounded like I was trying to one-up you. I was not.
Oh, I get it. Listen, I just wanted to talk about Dan Marino, how cool he was, man.
I think Dan Marino hit some people the wrong way sometimes because he was especially as a player, he was a little pretty cocky, pretty sure of himself and whatever, but he had reason to be.
I think you got to have some of that. If you're a quarterback, whether it's really quiet confidence or outspoken confidence, you got to have that to play that position.
Before Cole hits us with his thing, TLC hits us with his thing, I wanted to, because Bo Bishop challenged me to name who I would have as maybe my starting quarterback on my All-American team of all time.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
And during his segment today, and we didn't get to it. And the guy, I know it's going to I don't know how people are going to take it. I'm telling you, when he was on, that 1 year especially, Lamar Jackson was about as exciting and playmaking a quarterback as there's ever been. I know Tim Tebow is that guy on that All-American team, the all-time All-American team. But Lamar Jackson, man.
If he would have been playing quarterback at
Alabama or
Clemson,
Ohio State or Clemson,
he would be, I think he won the Heisman, but I'm just to your point, I think it would have received even more attention throughout the years.
Correct.
Post his career. And so no knock to Louisville, but because I agree with you that the things that he was doing, it was like he was a video game created player in real life out there.
You want to see him win the Super Bowl only because I would
appreciate
verify everything.
Yeah. So who did you pick for your all-time All-American quarterback?
That's who I would have picked. Tim Tebow was the pick by AP, by the Associated Press.
I'm not picking Tebow.
No?
Nah.
Dude, there's about 10 guys you
better
could
not
pick.
say Cam Newton.
There's about 10 guys you could pick and be damn good.
Cam Newton for 1 year.
I would have rather had Cam Newton's skill set than Tim Tebow's.
Vince Young for 1 year. Cam Newton for 1 year especially.
What about Ken Dorsey when he was at Miami?
Yeah, no, Ken Dorsey was more a product. I mean, I'm talking about guys that could just take the game into their own hands when everything else broke down. Vince Young.
Give me freshman year.
Vince Young was that guy.
Freshman year Manziel at A&M.
But
give me that guy.
Yeah, he was pretty special.
He was awesome.
He was pretty special until his reputation caught up with him.
Well, that happens to a lot of us in life.
By the way, Tim, can you name the starting quarterback for the Dolphins in 1983 before they ushered in Dan Marino?
I can't. Woodley.
My God, if I had some theme music, I'd play it.
There you go.
Nailed it.
That's a great pull by you.
Thank you.
Good stuff, Tim, man.
Because people get him mixed up with Marino in the sense of where they got to. Go ahead now.
And I texted one Anthony Rothman to ask him if he knew. Do you think he knew who the starting quarterback was for the Dolphins before they brought in Marino?
Here's the thing. I don't know if my guy, he had time to look it up.
Yeah.
We would never know if he really knew or not.
You never give a guy 10 seconds because you can type that in really quick and AI will help you.
That AI overview.
We know AR is amazing, but I can't call it, right? I can't call whether or not he really knew without seeing him when he was asked that question.
AR has great recall.
He really does, especially with movies.
And he agrees with me. Hot tub time machine pales in comparison to Animal House.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that.
I'll stack up.
I've watched them both.
I'll stack up Project X against
I've watched
Animal
one of
House.
those. I've watched one of those about 40 times. I've watched one of them once. I go,
hey, that's hey, look, listen.
Oh my goodness!
Stop dunking on Hot Tub Time Machine. It's a really good movie. I'll put Project X, which is a movie you probably haven't even seen, let alone heard of.
I probably have.
Up there with Animal House.
Okay.
Watch that movie and get back to me. Have you seen Project X?
No, but I'm very familiar with what it is.
I probably have, but let's get on with the program here because I could waste time in getting into my brain whether I've seen Project X. If you reminded me of what it's about, I might be able to tell you.
It's essentially like high school kids having a party at a house to where the parents went out of town, and it just
Project
gets nuts.
X.
I think I'm partial to that movie because I kind of lived that lifestyle.
Yeah,
a little bit. It reminds me of the good old days out there.
You were throwing parties and your parents went out of town?
Not at my house.
But you know what? Not Breaking
Other
Bad.
house, I was
Not
there.
Breaking Bad, but the bad movie. You know, with where the guy Jonah Hill and stuff are in it. Something bad. Anyway,
Jonah
forget
Hill.
it. See, that's
Okay.
why we need
Somebody
to go.
21 Jump Street.
No, not 21 Jump Street.
Good movie, by the way.
It's about two teenagers who go to this party and they're not really recommending they bring liquor and then
Superbad.
Superbad. There you go. That's pretty darn funny.
Yeah, better than Animal House too. Go ahead.
No way.
It's National Lemon Meringue Pie Day. What is your ideal dessert? Keeping it nice and light here on a Friday heading into the weekend.
Something my wife does for me every one of my birthdays, strawberry shortcake. And it used to be with ice cream, but I try to watch my weight anymore. But strawberry shortcake cannot be beaten, but with put on pound cake, not angel food cake.
Okay.
Strawberry shortcake, pound cake.
I'm a simple man when it comes to this. Like, just give me the freshest, softest batch of chocolate chip cookies you have, and I will pair that with a simple vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah.
God, man.
Maybe heat up the cookies.
Yeah, warm them up, and then I'll take a little drizzle of caramel and chocolate on top, and then I'm good. That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Ice, this one's for you.
I can't guarantee that anybody in the world will be alive Sunday, so I can't guarantee who will be on our roster on Sunday.
Like, come on, Kyle. That's Kyle Shanahan, by the way. Like, really? I couldn't believe he said that. Tim, really appreciate your time today. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah. John McKay, how do you feel about the execution of your team? I'm for it.
Yeah.
One of the great quotes ever.
Oh, hey, I got to play this too.
And I am looking at a half-empty bottle of Cavatier, which means that we are just about out of time.
That we are. TLC, great job on the board. Folks, as always, we love you. Stay safe out there. Have a great weekend. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. CB is on the board, so don't move right here on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
The summer event is still on at your main Honda of Dublin, and with football back, Rich is ready to dominate the competition. You can lease the sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $249 a month or finance with 3.99% APR. Upgrade to adventure with the 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Lease starting at $429 per month or 4.49% APR. Visit your main Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Hugs from patients, like Patrick. It's something QC Kinetics medical professionals experience every day.
I hugged them. You should hug somebody who does that for you. They gave me my life back, and I really didn't know where I was going to go because I was definitely afraid of having a knee replacement done.
No surgery, no downtime with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. They give patients relief from joint pain using their own healing properties to repair and restore damaged tissue. And the results? Well, that's why we see a lot of hugs at QC Kinetics.
Everything is back that I thought I was never going to be able to do again. I'm still smiling, and sometimes it gets emotional. I get a tear in my eye because of how I was before I went in there.
Those smiles and hugs never get old at QC Kinetics. It means patients are finally getting relief. And now, it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate for these amazing treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
380-208-4544. Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Do you know what I like best about our plumbers?
Tell me.
No matter how difficult, no matter how messy, no matter what it takes, they just dive right in and fix it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
They dive right in.
Yes, they dive right in.
We've got scuba diving plumbers.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You know they don't literally dive in, right?
Well, of course not. Not yet, anyway. The pipes are too small.
Get Eco.
ECO.
They won't be able to literally dive in until I finish inventing my eco miniaturizing ray.
But until then, our plumbers will just keep on figuratively diving right in.
Yes, that would be best.
Jerry, do you know what I like best about our plumbers?
Tell me.
They're so good at their job, they make it look easy.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and better than average HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation.